Okay, we are live. Let me check. Looking good. All right, folks. Those who are out there watching, if they're real or not, don't know. Welcome. We're going to be doing our Deadbeats D&D Thursday night. So let's get right out to the start here because we got a lot to cover for the beginning of this setup. Let's do our introductions. Ruckus, you are first.
Name's Ruckus. I'm a Mountain Dwarf barbarian who's seeking to prove myself in combat and who is excited to be back in his natural element.
Hondo.
I'm Hondo Bazamek, a mountain dwarf and loyal cleric of Dumathoin.
We have Varus.
I'm a Fearblood Druid, a Protector of Force, and Master of Disguise.
Yes, he is. All right, Durless.
A dirtless driftwood rock gnome wizard who misses his books and his staff.
All right, and last but not least is Banjo.
Banjo Kazooie is our swashbuckling rogue, and he considers himself the gladiator bugbear extraordinaire, and he has been locked up for a while and has met some new friends.
Yes, he has. All right, so what we see, let me give you the map so we can kind of cover a little bit about what you're seeing here, what's going on. You find yourself in your lovely cramped quarters. You have spent a week already in this hellhole, is the best way to describe where you guys have found yourself in unfortunate circumstances. This definitely, it is a Drow outpost that you have come to despise and hate. The Drow are typical Drow. They, show no. It's all animosity toward you. You are beneath them. They cherish the dirt in between their boot heels than they do you as as an individual entity. Typical Drow. However, to make little things a little light, that you do have some companions that have been here a little bit longer than all of you, and you have slowly taken up conversations with them, and have learned a few things as you have performed, gone out and done tasks such as you have, you're given cleanup. You've got basically some of your own buckets, basically your refuse buckets that you have to clean out from time to time. You have got some couple of main hall quarters that you need to clean out. They will have you sweep and clean, coil up ropes, and then uncoil the ropes because they didn't like the way you did it, or pile up a set of rocks on one side of the cavern and then didn't like that, so they make you take the rocks and go all the way to the other side of the cavern and repile them, and then bop you upside the head or kick you down, and and all in all, just make life a miserable hell for you. Then, as that is taking place, like I said, you have some individuals here, and we'll start figuring out a little bit more for them, but you. Each have learned that a few, some consider themselves royalty. Some of them are headstrong. Some are, definitely unyielding, or then they're too giving. They, put the party ahead of themselves. And you've got a couple that are a little strange, such as Ruckus in his moving around. Topsy and Turvy are little scruffy looking gnomes. They constantly are around him, touching him, looking at him, whispering to each other. Every now and then he'll catch them touching him, or poking him a little bit, and whispering to themselves, and then kind of Ruckus, they ever kind of now and then kind of give you a little sniff, and they keep shaking their heads, looking at each other, and nodding as though they're communication or know something. Varus has over time, the mushroom stool, as has been known to be called. He constantly you find yourself sometimes almost tripping over him. He's so quiet and unpresuming that you don't even know he's there. However, you have discovered that if you sit close enough to him and wait a few moments, you'll notice little spores kind of very delicately float out at him, and he communicates to you through these spores, giving you simple communications of feelings or something that he's seen. You're still trying to learn it, and knowing you're with your abilities and all that. It's going to take just a little time to be able to decipher the images and the feelings that you receive from him. And so you have been kind of, definitely amused and plus, interested, curious about who this little guy is. Okay. And
it is prison after all.
Yeah, it is prison, but he is.
Yeah, the person horny is the state of mind.
If it could purr, it could. So, but you have a couple, that definitely individuals that believe they are of the nobility. You especially have one that constantly, Prince Darendale, this being, he's a Quaggoth. What you're seeing, which is, I think I gave y'all the image of what he looks like, what they look like that you see walking around. There are definitely a lot of these creatures in the compound that work with the Drow. Oh, I need just a little background music to make it go. We don't want to be boring here, but we'll keep it low. And
did you say the prince attached to somebody?
No, well, he talks to you. I guess he talks to a little bit of everybody, depending on who will listen to him. He looks, so you've got Quaggoth that work with the Drow. They are basically servants. They have a room down to the north, which I'll point out some stuff in the map here in a little bit that you have found over time. Nobody really goes in there. Y'all will get close sometimes to their den, but the Drow will pull you back. Sometimes they kind of give you a nudge in there, and the Quaggoth definitely raise up or charge a little bit. You're finding out that that's a place you really don't want to be going into without other people around, because you might not make it out of there alive. They're pretty vicious and don't like anybody coming into their den area. But they do some of the harder tasks of lifting and moving around, and are subservient to the Drow. But this Quaggoth, Prince Darendale, he has kind of relayed to you a little bit, Hondo, that he believes, he tells you that he is actually a prince of a faraway land that he has not seen in many years, but he's been changed by a curse. And no one believes him, but he wants to get back to his younger brother and his sister, who is a great mage. He kind of gives you some information about her, but then his father, who's a great king of the Neverendel, golly, when they have after four, what's the word I'm looking for? Never mind. When they got big words, man, I can't pronounce them. So, but he, and it's got, different breaks in it and all that, but he's, he talks about it a lot. And, he, when we get there, if we get out of here and everybody can get get him to his kingdom, they'll be, everybody will be received like kings. It'll be the talk of the land, and I can get this curse removed from me, and restore me back to my elvish self. And he kind of, you hear him rant and rave a lot about that. But sometimes when some of the drow will tease him about it, and you see him, then the Quaggoth in him comes out, and you see a blood rage, and his claws begin to scrape against the ground, where he's on the verge of, he just go batshit lose it, and anything in his way, could be ripped to shreds, basically. You've got a drow that is in there, that his name is Sareth Kizkaret. He talked to you, if you remember that he was speaking to, or the Myconoid would be over in the corner or something when y'all first came in there, and the drow would yell out to it to shut up, and he would kind of hiss, and he's kind of sullen, and he murmurs sometimes to you, or pushes you out of the way, not very hard, but he is a drow, and so even though he's a prisoner here, and he's definitely disgraced by that, you can see it that he's lost faith to his people, that he doesn't believe he should be here, and he doesn't, he's depressed about it. So he's heard every now and then, I didn't murder this son of a bit, whatever words they want to use, I didn't murder him. He was basically, you can get the feeling that he's accused of being of murdering another drow warrior. And he doesn't remember it. He says it never happened, and he, injustice, but the life of the drow, from what y'all know, well, sucks to be you, because once you go into that path, it's very hard for especially a male drow to ever come back from that type of punishment, or what's the reputation. So he's kind of sullen and kind of kicks around. You have next to Durlus, this Darrow is definitely, he talks a lot to you. He's very gregarious. He believes that we can get out of here. He has a place that if we can get to, Glackstool is what it's called, or Glackelstug, then there will be, if we can get that far across across the way through the Underdark, we should be able to be safe from the drow, or at least it'll be hard to get there, but he believes that if the group and them work together, somehow, some way, to free themselves from this imprisonment, that life will be good, and he thinks, he can make things better for the whole party. He just doesn't have the, he's Darrow. He's not very strong. He's not, he doesn't have the composition to fight it out. So he's looking for the group, now that y'all have come in, plus a few of the others, like the orc that is here, whose name is Ront.
Wait, who's Darrow? Darrow's not on the list, is he?
Bupito. His name is, no, he's a Darrow. He's called a Darrow. That's his race.
Yes,
exactly. His name is
okay.
Bupito.
Okay.
So you found that out. And then you have Ront, who is kind of, him and Banjo kind of eye to eye, and, the bigger, beings as they are. This is a big ass orc. And he basically got caught by some dwarves and fell. What happened was his band of orcs got slaughtered by some dwarves outside a mountain range, and he turned and fled, and unfortunately went down and found a pothole that actually was a shaft, and fell down into the cavern area and couldn't find his way out and got caught. And he's he and haws about how ashamed he is, and of his god is punishing him. Grumish, his god, and he doesn't want to die, but he sure in the hell doesn't want to be here. And he definitely something like very much like the prince, that when he gets pushed around and all that, you can see that he he'll buckle, he'll hold on, but sometimes he thinks that he could burst out into rage all of a sudden. And actually, I have the female dwarf in the wrong spot, because him and the female dwarf Eldith, she bides her time between Ruckus and Hondo, and she talks about she's very high spirited, proud of her heritage. She's a dwarf, and she thinks that there's another destination called Gauntlegrim, where the group should, she talks about a lot, and if when we ever get out of here, that's the place we should head to. But she has made inquiries to both dwarves that if something were to ever happen to her and you were to escape, that she has a shield and a warhammer that is here somewhere, probably with what you're taking is probably where some of y'all's supplies are at, and weapons and armor, that she would appreciate it if it was returned to her elders at Gauntlet Grim. That would win you favor with her kin, and ease her spirit. Who's left? There's Shushar the Awakened. He is a Kuatoa, a fish race. He is not a fighter. He is out of his league here, especially if he's in the pens for long periods of time. He needs water, and the Drow definitely, take great, pleasure in keeping him away from the water. There is a waterfall that is in the middle of the cavern and part of the compound here, where you will sometimes take, buckets to get fresh water. Some for the for yourselves when you're lucky. The other times it's for giving to the Drow into their kitchen area where they take food, and quaggas, and we use to wash things down, and then all the refuse and anything that's considered trash and all that is actually thrown off the side of where the waterfall at and thrown down into as a pool area down below in the bottom of the cavern. But he also talks about that he talks about his home and a place called Slubdabop. Oh my God. And he says that's, another place. He talks about that's where everybody should go. So you're finding out that there's different, there's different locations in the Underdark where several of these, people, say that's if you were to escape, if that's where you should head. So that's kind of some of the stuff that you have kind of heard, and we'll get into it more here. But over time, also, each of you have found something. Basically, some items. Well, you're actually going to get to roll. So what?
Wait, what about Jim Jar?
Jim Jar? I missed Jim Jar. Oh, I apologize. Jim Jar. Okay.
Oh, he wants decoration.
Jim Jar is the key to the whole thing.
Yeah, apparently I've totally forgot about Jim Jar. Holy shit, Jim Jar. Jim Jar is a gnome. He's a rogue. It's found out. So every now and then, him and Banjo will talk some, and they kind of, assess each other, and maybe some of their sleight of hand tricks and things like that. But he's always making bets with Banjo, or he'll bet, one of you, I bet you can't, I bet you can't get, 10 gold that you can't get past the sentry without being seen. Or he says, I bet 20 gold that this tunnel is the right way. If you go out this tunnel, this is the way you want to go. Because I'm going to show you some stuff here in a little bit on the map about where he points around. And he loves talking about coins. And he's obsessed with betting on basically any and all things. He wants to know when someone's talking, you may hear him, I bet, the Drow tells him that he's, a lump piece of, Quaggoth's goop, and, he'll make bets on that all the time. And that's about all that he really does. His behavior, you don't know much about deep gnomes, I don't think. We'll do that. Everybody can give me a Nature check. Well, y'all, well, fine. Just why don't you just beat the shit out of me here?
God damn it. There it
Hondo
is.
doesn't know. Yeah, Hondo, once again, you didn't pay attention in class.
I know so much more than you, Hondo.
Right. Well,
Yeah, you do.
yeah.
You're my go-to book
Yeah.
of knowledge over
Well,
there.
yeah, and Dirt's a gnome. That's true.
I whisper over to Elith or Eldith or whatever.
Eldith,
I'm like, totally paid more attention.
And if I don't catch something, I've got 2 big screens of information about all these characters that I'm reading from. Sometimes I may miss stuff. There's a lot of stuff about these characters. So yeah, you basically, he's a little off. Go figure. Little, his actions are a little bit different for a deep gnome. He's a little, his behavior is unusual for a dour deep gnome, and he is very standoffish with Topsy and Turvy. He thinks there's something wrong with those two. They aren't gnomes, and he makes it. I bet that he's always betting. I don't know. There's something wrong with them. They're not gnomes. I bet if I punch one of them, he'll turn into a beast. Or he'll disappear. And it's been hard to drag out, but Ruckus definitely and Dirtless, you've seen him eyeing them sometimes, and you kind of have prodded it out of him a little bit. But he gets along with everybody, and even though you might find that the constant betting is a little grating on your nerves a little bit, because all of you miss your big ass pile of stash of coinage that's somewhere gone. You don't know where the hell it's at, and every one of you worked damn hard to get it, and it was taken away from you unjustly. So
You can say that again.
I just wanted to throw out the investigation check on Topsy and Turvy because they keep eyeballing me. And it kind of weirds me out.
Yeah, they haven't really said much to you yet. You catch them sniffing at you. They've kind of poked at you a little bit. They've not giggled, but they kind of shook their heads. And then you kind of see them sniff the air, and then they're looking up into the cavern of the ceiling of the cavern and all that, looking, and they keep looking at each other, going, "It's close, just watch." And they don't, but that's about all they say.
Oh, okay.
But they stay fairly close to you, and especially when you sleep at night, they're usually right there. Dog, I had someone talking to me about it. I've had several people that were going to play, and everyone's dropped out, so I just kind of stopped pushing it ahead right now. And I was going to, with this big change, if I get another one, if it's a possibility, I'll drop them in, but I wanted to get moving forward with the group that I had right now. But they're not opposed to it. I think there's plenty of opportunity to drop somebody in. I just, with everything that's been going on too, was a little taken aback. So I need to get that all cleared out. Okay. So on the map, let me give you some understanding of what you're seeing here. You might have to zoom out a little bit, but we'll start with, oh no, I'm sorry. The first thing you do is y'all have found actually, maybe an item, and each one of you will start at the top of the from the login order. Ruckus, you can roll. I need a D10 and a D20 rolled, and we'll add them up. Oh, you were unfortunately, you and Topsy and Turvy apparently have been very distracting to you, and you have not been able to find anything. I'm sorry. No, that's not what you want to hear. Who's next? Hondo?
Okay, so a D10 and a D20.
21. You have found a gemstone. Okay.
Just
far.
like Doom and Throwing.
Hey, you got yourself a little gemstone worth 10 gold pieces. Although, just make a note of that in your character sheet, and we'll add it in later. All right.
Okay.
Just put it as notes right now. You guys are going to get a chance of this, but you're basically finding out there's little stuff laying around that the Drow are missing. Ruckus.
Yeah.
No, I'm not right. Say Vars. Sorry, Vars. I get my creatures messed up.
I put my hand on the stool for luck
There you go.
as I start searching.
Well, you have found it because I'm going to show you all the areas if you've been walking around and what's going on with this cavern over time now. But I need a D10 and a D20 roll, and add the 2 results, please.
I don't know, but I'm falling inside the chat box. As it's not.
Hold on. I haven't seen it come through yet.
Oh, come on. Now this was a 20.
There we go. I got a 15.
That's not fair.
Sorry. And a D10, please.
I'm telling you, it's not working for me.
There you go. A 19. You have found a gemstone too. You guys not really roll, okay? So you've got yourself. Basically you and Hondo found a couple of gems laying around at one of the storage areas. Dirtless. A 5. 21. Oh my God. Okay.
That's a gemstone.
It's a gemstone. 19, 20, and 21 are gemstones.
Eventually, we're gonna find all the gemstones.
Yeah, basically, I didn't know the maybe you know what? It's probably the trail of your loot that some of it's been falling out as it's been drug around over time. So it may not all be there anymore because it's spread from here to Kingdom Come.
I think sooner or later we'll be able to buy our freedom.
Yeah. Banjo. A 7. If you roll anything, that's a 16. You have found in one of the storage areas a 5-foot long strand of silk rope.
Ooh. That'll be
It's no gemstone.
No gemstone.
Yeah,
but
it is a garrote.
But
Yeah.
Topsy and
but
Turvy.
But it is way more useful.
Topsy and Turvy, we're looking at Ruckus and they were feeling bad because he's been here a week and they have all kind of little stuff in their hands, and they reach into I don't know how they've got a pocket in their little deal, and they give you a little this little iron bar, this little rusted bar, and they said they've been hiding it in the dirt floor, and it basically. They give it to you, and it's big enough that it could be used as a club.
They give that to Ruckus?
Yep. Because they felt bad that Ruckus doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
And they kind of giggled and they kind of hissed and they gave it to you. So a pouch, but they here you go. That's all for you. And so. When that's all said and done, where you have found all this stuff. So when you come out of, y'all are given shifts for a third of a day. You're broken up into groups of 2 or 3, and you're never with the same people always the same time. It's kind of randomized, and just depending on which dro comes and gets you, which I'll give you some introductions a little bit to them, but. You are given, like I said, these menial tasks, and when you come out of the main gate area, the magic users, even though you don't have your spell components, you feel the oppression basically kind of lift a little bit, and same thing for like Vars, your innate abilities. I think y'all were talking about. They kind of loosen up a little bit when you come out. Okay, but you're always accompanied by at least 3 or 4 dro who are heavily armed, and they have their scimitars, and they have their hand crossbow bolts, and that you can tell that those bolts are covered with some type of goo, and they, and your dro, that's usually poison or sleep, depending on what they have them for, but they've always got these, and they're pretty damn sharp with their aim with these things. But they take you out, and they will either They walk you. They will either take you down. If you come out and go down the stairs that are in the northern quadrant, it takes you to where an entrance where the Quaggoth Den is at, and then there's apparently some type of it's a little alcove kind of right above the den of the Quaggoth, and you will see that there's always two drow there. It looks to be some type of little watch post that they have looking out over the cavern. The cavern is far down from where you're at. It's about 30, 40. Let me pull, where was that at? Well, I just found it. I'll find that in a second here. But there, what you see in the cavern is below this whole area, you see spider webs. And the spider webs encompass pretty much all the walkway, and 3 or 4 big stalagmites that are hanging from the ceiling that have bridges to them, and they're doors built into the stalagmites. And they're apparently, you see drow going in and out of them, and you're taken into them some and walk through some of the what looks to be the base floor of the stalagmite, but you can tell that there are rope ladders and other things going up, apparently up and higher into the ceiling, and there's more stuff going on. They're multi-leveled type apartment type setups or storage or rooms or whatever. There's several of them, and you haven't been taken to any of those rooms. You're walked through real quick the bridge to cross over. If like we come out and we're going kind of east, we'll go out, west, go out that bridge. You'll go through a quick room. You'll come out the other bridge. You'll see spider webs all down through there, and you do know that there are several large spiders down there, and you have seen definitely a few cocoons, type setups down there that looks like, unfortunately, you believe and have heard stories from the other groups that some other of the prisoners have been unfortunate that the drow will throw them off the ledges into the webs, and the spiders attack almost within seconds and sting them, poison them, then wrap them up and go to town feeding. And so you don't want to be thrown off the ledge or fall by accident into the webs. You come across once you go through the first room and across the bridge, you'll pass the waterfall that flows pretty high, and they have a little ledge off to the west side of it where you will use to get buckets and to fill up, get fresh water, or you can stand over the bridge area and where the refuse and stuff is thrown off straight down into the pool area down below under the bridge area there. The bridges, like I said, they're basically, looks like they're made out of spider silk rope, and they connect all the walkways, and they sway a little bit, but you definitely take your time. The drow seem to be able to dance right across them pretty quickly, but for the group, it becomes difficult terrain. It's since you're unsure of it, and with all the knowing that there's spiders there, and it's fairly dark. You've got dark vision, and then there's some lights. They've got some lanterns kind of interspersed on the walkways, and it looks like a kind of a glowy fungus is in there, and they give off a faint glow for certain areas. But outside of that, everybody relies on their dark vision here. Then you come off that bridge going south along the walkway, and there's another bridge there that's a little bit more ornate, and you believe that this area is where the priestess and the main those drow that are in control and run the show all are in this one. The first one's kind of a guard room, and you see some of the main drow come in and out. There's some storage stuff in there, you believe. The second one is definitely where the those in charge come in and out a lot and spend a lot of time, and you've never gone in there. you walk along the walkway and you come into another landing area, and you believe that the other two stalactites there are barracks. There's lots of talk. You know, when you're in there, you're basically brought to the door, and you may throw buckets, or you have to run in and get something. But it looks like there are several floors and definitely some type of barrack structure. The rest of the caverns to the south, or one is a big main hall here. This is kind of where they take their food. There's always a few drow in there talking to themselves or gambling or throwing dice. Some quaggoths are always in there. They're in there serving, cleaning, throwing stuff at y'all when you come in there to pick stuff up, or they'll dump stuff on the floor. And, you know, you got to say, hey, I'm sorry, boss man. Yes, sir, boss. You know, and, you know, you run like a chain gang, and there's plenty of food in the back area. Looks like there's stocks of dried meat and fresh fungi and dried fruits and cheeses and stuff like that. And then in the back corner, there's looks like it'd be an iron brazier that's back there that provides a little dim light, but they use it probably to heat and cook some of their food. Then the other two caverns are more barracks. These look like they may be more standardized. The other ones may be a little bit more, since they're in the stalactites, they may be a little bit more for the higher ups, the officers of the drow. But definitely the two caverns on the south part of the complex are standard barracks that you have to go in and clean and refreshing the pallets and pick up the buckets and any other kind of crap that they want you to do. And then last but not least, you go down. Bummer, I thought I showed you all this. Is another outpost at the very southern tip of the walkway. Down along the floor, you've been down there a few times, only one or two of you at a time, with the heavy contingent of drow. And the way you get down there is between the two stalactites at the south. There is a lift. I'll give it to you in a second. There is a lift that is used to bring stuff from the floor down there. It is a winch-handed type setup. There's a long arm, and it carries a big old basket. And there's a thin cord of spider, looks like to be very strong spider silk, that is there. And it runs through a few pulleys, and there's a hand crank deal, and a couple of quaggoths are always there to do the hand cranking. And it looks like, y'all were brought up in this. Actually, you wouldn't know that because y'all were asleep. But that's how their other group will tell you that's how they come up and down safely, or they bring up cargo, they bring up supplies. And you have heard from a couple of the drow that they're expecting the main caravan from Menzo Baranzan, however you say that, they're behind schedule, but they should be coming anytime to refill supplies and take this group, or those who are left, back to the city for slaves for sale to all the houses there, the great houses of the drow, never to be seen again. And so you know that the clock is ticking. So that's the layout of what you see and there's three entrances to this cavern area. You have one to straight, northwest. You have one kind of northeast, and then one that kind of heads off south. Then the drow. We were asking about that. Let me bring that up. You have roughly, you think you have counted a minimum of what you believe to be 12 worker drows, main guard drows that kind of patrol or man the guard towers, or stay with you. They are ranked over by possibly, it looks to be about 5, maybe 6 elite warriors. So there will always usually be 2 to 3 of the main guards with an elite warrior with them when they're running, groups of you around or having to guard you, which they they couldn't be more unimpressed or give a shit, but they do watch you some, and they do, they will say something every now and then, to you, weren't you trained better? Can't you do this? It's sometimes demeaning. Sometimes they just, are just talking. There is at least 2 princesses here. There's a junior one that you believe her name is Ashas. And she, does some overseeing and kind of checks, she goes in and out of the 3rd. Say here, let me put a token here. Let's give you, 1. I'm gonna 2. 3. And 4. So the priestess definitely spends most of her time inside stalagmite number 3. And she, if you know your heritage and your makeup of Society of Dro, the female run it all. And so they almost all the men that Dro, defer to her, step out of the way, kneel, show deference to her when she walks by. There is a senior priestess who's mainly the one in charge, and her name is Elvara. And she is a Dro priestess of Loth. And she is usually very mean looking. I will actually give you pictures of all of them. Yay! Elvara looks like this. And she's always got a spider around her, and she's always in her hand. Sometimes she has this rod that she carries, and the tentacles move. And it looks like it has a whipping capability, plus God knows what else. And she is one mean bitch. And
I love tentacle bitches.
When you were describing the 2, the last 2, I thought I heard you say princess, but were they
priestess?
Priestess, okay.
Yeah. They're both priestess. That's Asha, and this is her. Well, do I not have an image of her? Oh, bummer.
All right, so Asha and Elvara.
Elvara is the main one in charge.
All right,
Asha,
she's the big deal.
Yeah, Asha is the junior Dro priestess.
Okay.
And she, you see her a lot. Elvara, you don't see much, but when you do, man, you pray that you don't get her attention.
Or do we?
Well, you can find out.
Every time she passes me by, I give her the sensual one.
There are 2 other male Dro that are part of the, I guess basically what you consider not ruling class, but they are the 2 in charge, or seem to be in charge of the rest of the male Dros. There is one of them. His name is Shur, Shoor. He basically, you can tell that he has the favor of Elvara, and he is always around her or moves close to her, and she, will caress his face sometimes, or you'll see she slapped him a few times, but she will point things to him, and he will run to yell at some of the other males, or go to kick one of y'all, or make one of y'all move, or change. There was a rock on the ground. You need to go move it and redust, clean. Whatever it could be that's menial or degrading and all that. But you could see that he is basically reports to her directly, and she has him in favor. And there's the last one whose name is Jorlan, and he carries himself about of the same caliber as Shur, but his part of his face, left side of his face, is severely scarred. And he has lost one of his eyes. Is gouged out. It looks like there's gouges, there's pot marks, there's he's got a very bad injury to the side of his face. But with the one eye that you see, you have detected that there's some animosity toward Shore, and you have heard the male some of the guards and all that talk about giggling or sucks to be him, but he apparently was Ilvar's first lieutenant for some time, and she threw him off after this attack or what had befelled him. And some of them say it was a fight that he got with another drow or maybe with Shure. There's some talk that it was a black pudding that he had a run in on one of their raiding ventures, and he was she healed him. Elvira healed him, but then she couldn't heal the actual physical damage to the face and all that. She pushed him aside, and you can see that there's some animosity there. And so he has kind of, he still runs a few things, but, Sure definitely has got him full of himself and, pushes himself around Jorlin a lot more than he should. And you have caught sometimes that Asha is talking to Jorlan some, and they kind of are in a corner, or they may, be standing on a bridge somewhere. I think they're in the shadows, and they don't pay attention when y'all run by because they don't give they could care less about who you are, and and they don't care that you would see them, that you're no threat to them. So that is the layout. I will also show you what it looks like from a side view. And there you go. And you've gotten to note what's made this place unique is definitely from the side view, the spider webs and all that are used. It hides this whole complex from the ground. If you were down there far on the bottom floor of the cavern and look up, you would only see darkness, and the web could be just blackness, and it would look like it was the roof or jutting out of the cave, and you wouldn't know that whole complex was up there at all, looking down from the bottom. That's how well it's hidden. So with that being said, you've been into some of the public compound areas and have not seen anything of value. You definitely have not seen any of your supplies. Let's see. So I see one of you are trying to already break the chain gang here. So the question is, formulating or looking at engaging. There's plenty to discover, there's plenty to talk about. You're going to spend the day doing your menial chores. You have got the players who are in the definitely those who are in charge. You can ask me questions if you would like. For more information, or inquiring to some of these other individuals, whether they be your cellmates or some of the Drow. If you are able to talk to them, I'll let you know. And what would you like to try to find out? You know what you're supposed to do. You know what the task is. The question is how you're going to accomplish it.
Did we find out where they might be holding our arms and supplies?
Not yet. You believe that they're the only other places that you have not seen inside of is the Quaggoth Den and the tower, the stalagmite number 4, is definitely looks to be some of the guards are in there. It looks to be a guard tower. It looks out over some of the compound. So the bottom floor that you come into, I will show you on the side map. If you have it, you guys might want to save that.
How do I whisper somebody in Fantasy Grounds?
You can right mouse click on their portrait and there's a whisper, or you type the /W and put their name in, but you have to put their full name in. So I would tell you just to right mouse click on their portrait and hit the whisper button. The whisper, the little man talking.
Okay, and then Duff, do you hear our whispers?
I see them all.
Okay, so no, that's what I'm asking, because if we're role playing something. Mm-hmm. And we want, that's the intent, then we'd want you to understand what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. Yep.
All right.
So you would have to tell me when you're going to do this, what's the setup? You're in your, like I said, through about the third of the day, a group of you are taken out, moved around to go do something, and then the rest of the time you were shoved back into the pen and left there just to kind of sit on the floor and pile the day away without doing anything. Bored off your ass.
So was the rough count 12, Jero?
No, it was 12 guards, 5 to 6 elites, 2 priestesses, and 2 champions.
Plus,
so you're looking at closer to 20, Dro.
Plus, you look at you've got a pack of Quaggoth that you have not quite gotten their numbers of who they are, but there are several there that come in and out. You just don't ever go in their den, so you have never seen who's all in there. But they're
we have potential giant spiders to deal with.
Oh, they're down there. You just never have seen them.
I don't like spiders.
All right, so let's try to. Can we fast forward and role play?
What does the door to the den look like?
Sorry, one at a time. Finish up Ruckus, then Durst, you can ask me. Go ahead, Ruckus? I lost you. Shows you're talking, but I don't hear anything.
My headset keeps cutting off.
There you go. Okay.
I say we try to keep finding more stuff, pocketing as much stuff.
I'll give you another roll. You spend another day. Let's go. You're gonna get another day of cleaning. And you can
How long
ask.
have you been here?
You have been here a week already.
And who is the party that is going to be nearest to either Jorlan or Asha?
You don't know that. I will roll that up depending on what happens and what's going on in the compound.
The marching orders for the parties as we go out for today is going to be to keep an eye on Jorlan and Asha.
Okay.
And just kind of get as much information as we can.
I want to know something. Have we been able to determine what's blocking our abilities and magic?
Yeah, like I said, when you come out of your pen, you get the feeling that some of that suppression is definitely waned from the magical standpoint. Now, that meaning that for the casters and all that, because you don't have your components, you don't have your focus, your books and all that, it's pretty pointless. But now for you with your ability, the question is that, you be feeling that maybe that you have that option once you are outside of the door of the pen.
That's what I wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
They can still cast their cantrips, right? That just require.
Yeah,
Nope.
I think so.
If you are out of the pen Inside, nothing flies. There is a huge magical suppression inside that holding pen.
I'm sorry. Did I don't know if my headset cut out. How long have we been here?
A week.
Okay.
But it took us like 3 weeks to get here, I think.
Oh, certainly. Well, you don't know. Y'all were out. And, then you're brought in the dark and you were kept,
Okay, but you did mention that last game.
You weaved around, but you were traded off between caravans, and this is where you ended up at this compound.
So does everybody agree that whoever goes out today, that we keep an eye on those two particular weak links?
Which two were you identifying?
Asha and Jordan.
Yeah, Asha is the junior priestess, and Jorlin is the shunned former champion.
Correct. That you've discovered so far.
Right. And then we have noticed that they seem to be kind of whispering to each other, which means that they might be up for a power play.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Dirtless, you had a question about something?
Oh, yeah, the den door, the Kaigas den door.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like? Is it something we could
It's just, you look on your side map, it's just an opening.
Well, we've never been in there, so it's just a big opening, no door on it at all.
Yeah, that's right. It's a cave.
Okay. All right.
And when you walk by, you get a flitter sometime of looks like nest-like mounds and debris. And there are definitely scattered bones, all shapes and sizes on the ground. But you, like I said, have detected that you don't go in there. They hiss and charge and bark, growl. Every now and then, the drow will push you a little bit in there when you're too close, and laugh. But you also notice, when the drow walk by themselves, nothing happens.
Okay. So just quick point or quick question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you said that we've been to the bottom of
Yes,
this
you have.
cavern.
Yep.
Okay. So what is in this room right in front of us? Because we would have had to go through this
You
room.
do. Yeah, I showed it to you. You real quickly are shunned through there, but it looks to be an overhang or a guard tower looking out at that, like a middle guard tower area, looking out into the main part of the compound. Okay, it is.
Do they have anything in there that we can use, or is it just guards?
You see that there are,
because I would be constantly looking for weapons is what I'm looking for.
You haven't seen other than what they carried in the lower chamber of the tower. You definitely see that there's always drow there, 2 to 3, 4, always there on duty. They have what's called a zirkwood. It's a special. It's some type of wood. It's a wood that's grown down in here that they have access to. I'm not sure, how they grow it. I'll find it somewhere. But there's a wooden table. There's some chairs down here. You see a side table. And then there's some silk webbing set stuff like hooks that they hang some of their equipment on. They may have a pack. They may have, you don't see them hanging their weapons on that. You definitely walk through there or grab something, and you have taken the time to, make that small movement, to slow things down so you can get out of the side of the look of your eye to see what's going on. That, once again, for a few minutes, they don't pay attention to you, and you see them talking, playing games, and they're dulled out of their mind, but you also though have seen, I'll give it to you, that there is a rope ladder that goes up to a second level that you have never been up to, though, on this one.
On 4? That was number 4?
That's number 4.
There's a rope ladder that goes up that we've never been up to.
Yeah, you see an opening in the floor, no type of door, it looks like, but there's a rope ladder that goes up, and there's stuff that you believe that there could be something up there.
Um, I say we try to go with what Hondo was saying and try to do the power play and try to get them to like maybe slow down their response time and maybe try to get the weapons off of the guards in the guard tower right in front of us and like just get in there and then try to like funnel our way out to the third stalagmite tower and then just keep going that way. I don't know.
How far down is the floor from?
That's good. Okay. That was a fair question. I've been trying to, let me get to general features. Velkenelv is the name of this. Velkenelv.
That's the name of where we are.
Yeah, Velkenelv is the name of the compound. So, the kind of the features of it, like I said, light is around here. Definitely on the wall areas, not crossing the bridges at all, that's another reason why it makes it difficult terrain for you, because some of you have got dark vision, but it's very unstable for you, not being used to it. But there are definitely lanterns that provide a dim for phosphorescent light, full of fungi there, and they kind of glow. Not much that you can hear in the way of sounds except for the waterfall that pours. It's always pouring in off from the ceiling straight down into a pool that looks to be down below. It's about a 20-foot pool of water, and it looks fairly. It's got it may be deep. It definitely, you can't see it a lot. I haven't been close to it too much because of all the foam and all the water coming over the edge and falling down into it. And you know that there's crap in there because that's where everything is thrown off of the bridge straight down into that area. Stairs here are about 5 foot wide, and they're carved into the stone side of the cavern. The bridges, I've already told you, they're spider silk rope that connect some of the definitely from stalactite 4 to 3 and 4 to where y'all are at. The rest of it, and then there's you see them on the overhead map. Those 3 bridges right there. The rest of it is all definitely carved into the rock. You look as though falling and all that, if you jump in any or way somewhere, or falling you're going to end up in the web if you fall anywhere from any point from this, outside of taking the lift down. The webs are in front of you, between you and the floor. But
what about this northern corner here?
Let me see.
In the top, it looks like.
Yeah, well, you've got there's web there, but then there's the waterfall below, and the pool. Let's see, water pouring down from the waterfall forms a 20-foot pool before flowing out into the underground river that travels, several miles. It just travels on out. So that's what you've seen, at least there. So there is a pool, definitely good size, actually. Maybe all the way around. Maybe not till the end of the northern part where it kind of slacks off. And then there's a watch post right there that looks to be just a little alcove that juts out over the rock area and looks down. The distance.
Hey Duff, have we been in that guard post, the one
No.
that's directly north? So
You know that there. Well, you see in there. There doesn't look to be much in there except for when the door open up sometime, or they'll give you a bucket, or they'll give you some trash or something they're eating, and you don't see basically anything in there. It's basically they have maybe a chair, maybe if they're lucky, but they have to stand there and watch, basically looking out over the northern part of the compound. The Drow don't like being when you're over there. Usually the Drow are a little bit more sour mood than they are in the southern tower because they're next to the Quaggoth, and the smell and the crap that's coming out of there is rank compared to the Drow that you've seen in the south tower. they, even though they're dulled and all that too, but they're not usually as grumpy.
So are they rotating? So it's not like the same few.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
Yep, they're always rotating through. Now, you guys have made 2 checks, and you have failed those checks, and may not do that until tomorrow. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Right? And that.
Oh, do we get to do another fine check?
Well,
No,
you're going to in a second here, but they were doing something in the background on their own, and they
Yeah.
tried something and it didn't work.
And Duff, if I get if I happen to be on a party that travels near Jorlin, there's something I'd like to do. So let me know,
So
please.
we'll play it out here a little bit. No, this is exactly what we're looking for. I'm just trying to find that damn answer. Okay, it's 100 feet down, minimum, from the bridge areas or the web. The Drow outpost is located high in a cavern, 100 feet above the rocky floor. Outpost consists of some small caves that you have found and 4 hollowed out, which you have discovered now, stalactites connected by the walkways, the stairs, and the rope bridges. You see that the towers are concealed by the thick webs that are stretched below them, so that only the lowest part of the stalactite is visible from the cavern floor. Any of the light that is showing up is definitely shielded from the floor, so that you could walk the whole area down here and never see the light up above you. There you go. I knew I'd find it.
Okay, Duff, I want to turn into a rat when we get out, when nobody's watching.
Okay, Dirtless, you also have your weasel.
Yep.
Who somehow has followed and made it through this. Lovely deal. We will have to. Okay, Vars is going to try a tricky. All right, so
Can we assist other people in breaking their chains? We just can't try to break our own.
We only tried to break Ruckus's. I need mine on.
Yeah, he should have rolled his with advantage, but
hold on. There was a ruling on that. They knew that would be. Okay, let's see. Let me give you some more information here. Just tons of stuff now that let's do another roll. First, let's do that out of the way. We'll go backwards the other way. We'll start with Banjo first. Roll me a D10 and a D30. All right.
Did I get another rope?
You found you found another strand of rope. Yep.
Did he really?
Yep.
That's
20
awesome.
more. 20 more, and we'll be able to reach the
All right, Dirt, you're next. Dirt, you're looking. You were moving along when you got over here in this area, and you able to almost stepped on, but picked up a spider about the size of a tarantula.
Ooh. I'm going to call him Bob.
Oh, yes. Bob
Okay.
the Spider.
Varys. 23. You found another iron bar that basically will be improvised club. Hondo.
I give it to Banjo.
23. You found one too.
A club.
Maybe.
Yeah, basically a rusted out iron bar.
Give it to Ruckus first. I think he'll hit harder than me with.
I think the twins gave Ruckus one already.
Ruckus has one
Ruckus
already.
has one.
Mhm.
So I'm giving it to you, Banjo.
Although,
Iron bar.
if I'm not mistaken, if I give it to Ruckus, he gets dual wield, and gets a bonus.
Yeah, he could. Sure could.
All right, I am gonna give mine to Ruckus, so he can
Okay,
have
just
two.
hold on to your stuff, and then Ruckus, your roll. Just don't
Roll
roll.
22.
Oh, did he roll a 22? I missed that. Oh, you got another club.
Oh, I'll keep mine then. Screw you, Ruckus, greedy bastard.
Guys are in the area. Oh boy. All right.
So, is there anything special about the spider? Like maybe it's a
No.
baby of one of the big.
You don't know. I mean, you know that it's a living spider the size of a tarantula.
Okay.
You know this though. You're in Lolth's domain, so all
was-
spiders.
Or you're protected.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Goddamn Dro.
All right. So that deal through some more recon and playing around, doing your work and all that, you have come up that you definitely know that, including all the higher ups and all that, you've got 19 Dro that are here. And
So did I come near Jorlin?
I'll get there. We'll get there. We're gonna
Okay.
trust me. And there are a dozen quaggas.
Did I manage to get away?
Yeah, get there. You're gonna get to roll it here in a second. I'm just letting you know. So, you have paid attention long enough that 3 Dro are always on watch in the outpost to the north and the south.
So a total of 6.
3 and 3. Yep.
Okay.
And they trade in and out. Okay. Yep.
I'm thinking, okay.
Jorlin, when you're gonna get this here, he definitely chat enough, and he revealed to you that he was, how can he, he's got to find a way. He mumbers sometime about finding a way to fix his face so that he can get back into Ilvar's favor.
Yes, that is exactly what I want.
Yes, well, you found that out, that he, these disfiguring injuries recently, they're fairly new, and it was a black. He tells you chat with him a little bit, and he, gruffly tells you that it was a black pudding that acid got, that he missed when they came around a corner and almost killed him, but it got his face.
So if I'm near him and I can converse with him in a completely submissive way, I'd want to convey, one, there's the potential to heal that, and two,
how could you heal that, dwarf?
And
how could that be possible?
I'll say something to the effect of, Lolth is extremely powerful, but perhaps
you speak her name. You better not say that around the priestesses, or you will visit the spiders on a moment's notice. Never speak that name again around a
agreed.
Dro.
But perhaps her area of interest is not healing as
what do you
as
care?
another's might be.
What do you care?
I said, well,
rock eater.
If I could help assist you in fixing your face, does not Asha turn a favorable eye towards you?
Asha's just a junior here. My place is next to Ilvar, where it should be.
But if she had a great champion as you, could she not be senior?
Off with you, dwarf. Enough of this. I have work to do.
Okay, I'll go.
And he stomps off. When he walks by, as you're walking the conversation and all that, and you just in time happen that, hold on, I got you guys. You got to let me do this one at a time here. that Shure comes walking around the corner, and they have a standoff, kind of an eyeing each other, and you notice that Shure, his hand kind of bows down to, there is a staff or stick. He's got something that he's clipped to the side of his belt, and he smiles and he goes, and you hear Shore say to Jorlin and all that, "This used to be yours, but is mine now. Don't make me use it on anybody. I have the power. You're unworthy of her favor. I am her mate now." And
Where is he standing?
they are over here. It doesn't matter. But we could say, was that
Roundabout.
yeah, somewhere over here. It honestly could happen anywhere, but he pats this. Basically, looks like it's to you maybe a wand of some sort.
Okay. I'll be bringing that information back to the group.
Okay. When you do back to that, do you tell anybody else other than just your group?
Are we assuming that Kazooie is part of our group now?
He has shown favor to you. In my punting with Rain, Rain was able to escape, and you find that possibly that a large portion of your gold, all the the valuables and all that, the Drow may have missed when they were capturing you, and may still be back where you left it.
Oh, God damn it. That's the last thing I want is go back to that goddamn place.
I'm not gonna make it easy for you, but and Rain was going to make sure that to find it and hide it well there, in case he doesn't know how the hell he's going to get out of it. But Banjo gave him a bit of maybe some ideas of where to go look, because Rain's fearless. Maybe he can make it out. You never know.
Yeah, fearless.
Now I gotta find one second, because I knew the breakout. Where the hell is it? Breakout. Means of escape.
And if I do break the chains, I kind of want to do it in a way where it looks like it's still on
right.
me.
Figures much. They've given me, if y'all saw my screens and what I have open right now, Motley Crew. There is a role that you've got to have. I'm just making sure that I don't seem out of the ordinary, but don't see too harsh on you. But I don't believe that you got out of the. Let me tell you some more stuff while I'm looking for it, because there's other things that are now kicking into play. As you have been here now for a good week, each of you have begun to notice that your sleep is also troubled and becomes more fitful as you've been down here. You have begun to have strange dreams, disturbing images. There sometimes seem to be dark shadows that move out and reach toward you in your sleep, as you wander or run around lost in endless mazes of tunnels. You sometimes feel that these oily tentacles slide up and brush up against you from in the dark, or there's great buzzing and howling sounds rise up from out far in the distance of the dark of your mind. Your wounds all of a sudden appear on your body and burst open, and spores or maggots and insects crawl out of your skin. You'll wake up, definitely sometimes in a cold sweat. and feel as though, sometimes you look out the door and not see anything, but you believe that maybe there's something in the darkness that's staring back at you. And you've also noticed that this is definitely that the Sareth, the Drow, is experiencing this a lot more than everybody else. And he, is definitely, he wakes up almost nightly now, and he has a murmuring, that he will, he's always doing, talking, looking at you, or say you don't even say anything to him, and he goes, "What was that? Don't look at me. You don't have the right." And then slunks down, after he gets cupped upside the head by one of the guards, and he turns and looks at him, and they just kind of laugh and say, "Get moving, maggot." Where is my damn chain break? Okay, here are all the guys. The Drow. There are all the Drow. Sounds, webs. Okay. 2 Drow. Here's the guards. Waterfall, towers. Slave pens. Is it in here? Okay. A cave is built. The gates to the slave pen is locked. Characters. Okay. Each of the guards on duties match. Lock picking attempt. Each of the. Okay. Then. I know I have it. I apologize, guys. So let's anything. Well, let's play it on another day here. While I'm gonna give you. I think that the roll's got to be higher, guys. Sorry. To
That's fine.
escape the chains there. They have given me one. I just can't find the damn thing. What else would you like to ask questions? What other questions would you like to find out?
Does Jorland and I did relay all that information I saw
to just your group or everybody?
Well, I'm going to relay it to the core group, which includes Kazooie, and then I'm going to leave it up to Ruckus and Dirt to pass along the information to who they think is should be in on it. But does Jorlin reapproach me at all? Trying to heal him?
You got to go through. This day has gone by. No, not for this day. Okay.
Okay.
But you will find out that when you talk about when you're talking to the group and kind of on your own about what's going on, Stool all of a sudden sends a it's kind of an image to Varus, and he sends you an image of when Jordan had this wand that is in his hand. It basically he sends you an image of this globs of when the wand is kind of like cast. It's not like magic missiles, but these globs come flying out of it, and you see this captive that was trying to run away from him. These globs come out and hit the person, and it kind of like catches him and captures him. Globs, wraps around him, his feet, or wraps around his body real quick, and basically grapples and it's like a bolo or something like that. But they're sticky globs of stuff, and they basically incapacitate, and the captive fell down.
He sent that to me?
To Varus.
Okay.
I relay that information to the rest of the party.
There you go.
So we know we got to deal with that thing.
Yeah, then Shore has it now. Jordan used to have it and not. And
that would be useful for us to get a hold of, too.
I wonder if we could bet a rogue to snatch that thing.
I was thinking we were
Banjo.
gonna bet him to do something, but
Being Varys.
I don't know if we should do that quite yet.
Yeah, I wonder if I'll bet you can't throw your life away on a useless task.
Yeah. I bet you can't jump in and distract the spiders while we run around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Banjo was willing to. He grew up in the gladiator ring, so he likes that kind of risk.
There you go.
I would like to send him the weasel.
Okay.
If it's safe to do so, I'd like him to check out the stalactite, or is it stalagmite 4? You know, just if he can get up into the second floor without being seen from the outside. If there's like
Okay.
any windows or anything.
So, well, there's two things, and I also forgot Vars. We're going to do, which one you want to do first? You want to do that, or Vars, do you want to try to do your shape change and turn into a rat?
I want to try to do my shape change when I can and nobody's watching.
I know, but where and what do you, what do you want to, the question is first, where do you want to try that at?
Yeah, because he's saying you can't do it while we're all locked up in the pen. You have to do it sometime out.
And if
Yep.
you're gone, you're always with somebody.
You'll have at least a minimum of 4 Dro with you and a couple of the other individuals with you, which I'll roll up in a second to see which ones are with you at the time. And then the question is where are you going to try that, so I can lay out a situation to see what happens.
I want to try it out on the little bridge from number 4 to number 3 because that's a very narrow space, and as a rat, I think it can get away pretty fast and easily.
Okay, so let me recap
Here.
this. You're going to be with, okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 of them. So I'm going to roll. There are going to be 2 others with you. They've got the Dro. And Prince Darendelle and you are going to be on this bridge, and there are 2 Dro in front of you, and there are 2 Dro right behind you when you're
And
crossing this bridge.
In what order is he in as far as the party? Oh, I see.
Once they're in position, I'm gonna run into this gate and slam into it to try to get their attention on me.
Well, you have 2 that are right. There are 2 guards right outside that gate.
That's fine.
Do you want to do that, Ruck, before they get to the second bridge? Do you want to do it as they go from our cage to 4?
Yeah, I was thinking right before Varys gets into the 4th stalagmite, run into it, get the guard to turn around while the first guard is already like inside. So basically where Ruckus, or not Ruckus, but Varys would be like right here.
Do it. You're waiting for him to go in there first?
Well,
but you're
Ruckus
saying
he's saying that Varys won't be into 4, but the other 2 party members plus the other 2 guards will. But the other 2 guards,
there are 2 guards behind him and 2 guards on the landing. They're always, to make sure I understand, there are always 2 guards outside the landing here.
Yeah, but in this way, that the guards that are with Varys's party are split now.
That's right. I understand. Well, yeah, there's somewhere coming along here, and there'll be 2.
At least I think that's what you wanted, Ruckus.
so there's not 1 in front, 1 in back. There's 2
No,
in back.
there's 2 in front, 2 in back, and 2 on the landing. You're always accompanied by a minimum of 4.
That's why I wanted to do it.
I mean, do it wherever you want. I was just trying to help.
I know, but right now, if we do it where you want it,
No,
I'm gonna
I'm just
have
saying,
6
like,
cards.
it's your call. Do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it where we have 4 cards because 6 cards is gonna be it's gonna be hard.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. So I'm trying to. This is it's a nice little play here. So
And did Varus leave us? Did he give us a heads up? He's doing this.
I don't remember him
Oh
saying.
no!
No, he did not. So
I
actually,
said nothing.
yeah.
Okay, because this could be the last time we see you, buddy.
Very-
So good luck.
Hondo, remember, it's me.
It's actually a very true statement.
But the stool knows. The stool knows. I told him.
Yeah, the stool knows, but the stool hasn't really. He hasn't reached out to anybody else yet, other than you.
He's keeping your secret, so
something like that.
He's
That's right.
supposed to, yeah.
All right, let me. Let's see. I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get a couple of Dro.
why do I think that the next session we're getting a new companion, like a
Or 2.
yeah.
All right, so Varus, you're going to have the Elite Dro and one Dro 1 and Elite Dro are in front. Thanks, Stooner, for the hosting, and I'm just putting them. This is kind of we're doing theater of the mind here, and then there's another Dro 2 and Dro 3 are here, basically, and they're honestly they'll be kind of like this. They're not side by.
I'm dropping a cheers on Varus's attempt here. There you go.
A cheer. And
that's my good luck to Varus.
You are going to change when you get to center of the bridge, back of the bridge. Where would you like to try to begin this metamorphosis, Varus? Can't hear you if you're talking.
Right about that point, I was saying that you don't have to say it's so complicated. It's just a change, a little change. Very fast, very good.
You hope it is. No, it's the verbal. It's your wild shape.
Wild shape, yeah.
Sorry.
Destroy it.
So you magically assume the shape of a beast. You could use this
The
favor
bonus
twice.
action.
Yeah, but determine which beast, and you're changing into a rat. And the question is,
I use hidden step when I change into a rat.
yeah, but so make sure I have to play from my standpoint that you're going to begin to turn it into a rat. It's not going to be just all 1 second there's a transformation that has to take there. They're going to get reactions to this.
Maybe you should change it to a spider when they're not looking because they
Ooh,
like spiders so much.
That's a good idea.
Can I change into a spider? That's the question.
You have
Spiders and insect.
your 4th. What level? You guys are sorry. What level? 5th level. So anything from a max CR of a half. So what would be a? Let me see. Let's go to the Monster Manual, NPCs, challenge rating, spider.
No spider.
I think that's the DM's call, bud.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, that spider is a CR is a challenge rating of a 0. He needs to be. He's not. Yeah, but what else?
What about a bigger spider?
Well,
Giant spider is challenge 1.
Okay. No, okay. So here's the deal. If it was, we're talking about it's a tiny beast, but maybe if you found a darn tarantula already, So the question is, that's not a bad idea, and I'm not going to say that you can't do that. I'm going to sit there and play this a little bit because that's the kind of DM I am.
I don't know if you trust that or not.
But you're going to, yeah, but it'd be a spider. But but once again, let me reiterate this: you're doing this in the middle of a bridge, and you've got Dro that are right behind you. You're going to get a roll on this to basically see if you can pull it off against their reactions. If you reactions,
Can I do something before I start?
I am all ears, Varus. What do you want to try to do?
Yeah, Chad, right before I started, I grabbed the prince and I threw it to draw number 2.
What?
You do what?
I grabbed the prince and pushed him towards draw number 2.
Well, it's a little fiber bridge. There's no way to pull him. You would be in the way. You're a big dude. There's no way that you would get off that. Plus, you're in difficult terrain, so it's half movement. Plus, the bridge is swaying and all that, so you're having to keep your balance. Are you willing to try to take that strength check?
Yes,
Okay.
and
Okay.
the idea is that we all go down.
Well, you're about to. I think you're getting ready to go on a trip. Oh wow. Okay. He's going to grab the prince, and so your first shot is you're saying that you want to grab him and try to pull him and throw him at Dro number 2. So that's a strength check against him. So roll it up.
I'm trying to take him with me against the draw.
I know what you're doing. You're trying to. Well, what am I saying? Are you trying to take him over the bridge, or are you trying to throw him at Dro number 2?
Draw number 2, even if I have to go with him.
I know. I understand what you're saying. All right. You grab him. He's as big as you, and you grab him, and you are unable to keep your balance, pulling him towards you. When you do that, Dro number 2 was he was actually turned around looking at Dro number 3 and turns back as you're pulling on Darendelle, and he pops you with the hilt of the flat of his sword, and gives you half this, 2 points of damage. And he says, "Stop screwing around." And actually, I mean, that was half, so that should only be 3. Thank you. And he's got his sword now in the small of your back as he pushes you forward on the bridge. And you have the attention of the rest of the groups. They're crossing the bridge. The other ones turn back and look. And he grabs you. He's holding it. The other one, Dro number 3, looks up, what the hell? And he pulls out his hand crossbow and has also got it ready to fire in case something goes wrong.
And now the prince doesn't like you either.
Yeah, and he's looking, how dare you touch me? And he begins to growl, get your hands off of me.
Okay, when they are all looking at me, I do my hidden step and turn invisible.
What the hell is he pulling off here now? Hold on, a hidden step. All right, as a bonus action, you can magically turn invisible until the start of your turn. You magically turn invisible until the start of your next turn until you attack, making a damage roll or force someone to make a saving throw. So basically, they're looking right at you. Now, you've got one that's got the sword in your back, so he's basically holding on to you.
Well, basically.
Okay, so but if that's what you're doing, you just turned invisible. All right. And let me see, where's your invisible to Varus? He is going to push his sword, and he's holding on to you, so he's going to get a straight up attack on this, not with because he knows exactly where you are at. All right. Oh, that's right. Well, still, he got his high roll. He's not going to roll it at disadvantage. So he's holding on to you. Okay, so he dropped a 12, so he did hit you. And so he gives you another big whopping 8 points of damage. Drow number 3 knows that you're there, but he will be shooting at disadvantage. And he fires his crossbow at you. He hits you with it.
Oh, God's sakes.
Hey, he gives you 8 more points of damage, and you now have poison in your system, and it is coursing through. Yep, and you fall to the bridge, unconscious.
To the bridge or off the bridge?
Oh, you're good question. Roll me a dex check.
Come on, don't succeed.
That depends on what I think's is succeeding or failing.
Did he say he doesn't want to succeed?
He doesn't want to succeed. He just rolled off the bridge. That's what he's wanting. Okay. So basically, 1 minute he's sitting there, and yeah. So Vars, I think you rolled off the bridge and land on the web, invisible. Yeah, but you don't see it, but they below will see. That's me huffing and puffing there because Vars, where are they at? Let me find them.
Oh no, the spiders!
The spiders, Varus. Yes. You just became spider food, my friend.
Oh, no,
Yeah, I'm going to make sure I'm looking at this right. Where the hell are they? God darn it. While we're looking at this, yeah, they're so while that's happening, they are, looking down there, and they stop Sareth and the Drow, and they're all, you see a couple more on fire. They're not sure what actually, took place there since they can't see us. So a few of them fire some more darts out at the
All this time, Banjo will be relaying all this to the party in a sportscaster fashion.
I didn't catch it. What was that? I didn't catch that.
He's doing his best Howard Cosell, and he is, relaying to you that, yeah, here they come. All right.
Basically, like, Varus turns invisible, and then all of a sudden he gets stabbed in the back, and then he is shot in the back and turned unconscious. Then he rolls off into the webs, and those giant spiders are now surrounding him.
Yeah, they basically are in the area here, and they don't see. Oh, well, Varus.
Wait a second. I still have one ace up my sleeve.
One can't find you, but one is right on top of you, touching
and
you.
I say to them, if you leave me alone, remember that they can't understand me.
You're unconscious, Varus.
I'm unconscious?
You're unconscious.
Oh, crap!
Oh no!
Where are the guards that are standing on the landing? Have they moved forward at all?
there's two on the landing here, which, they're talking back and forth each other, and the other two are poking down, and now they see the spiders, and spider number one, knowing that believing that he's got prey, is beginning to start to weave Varus into cocoon. These two guys, they are both sitting on the ledge, looking down, this close to the bridge, looking down, pointing, and their swords are drawn, watching what's going on there. Yes. Okay. The door is, that's a good question. You want to know if the door is open. I will roll at disadvantage that's one. Number two, if they lock the doors, well, I'm just rolling on them. It's not really who they are, but there's two there. Were they smart enough? No. The door to the cell is slightly open.
Is it,
Okay.
Is it now or never?
I will definitely share that with the party and possibly the rest of the prisoners.
I'll give you 5 seconds to figure out what you're going to do.
I say we bum rush out of here, knock these two Dro off into the spider web, and get into Tower 4 and take over.
What about the north? What about the tower to the north, or the room to the north?
The two to the north.
That's just a small little alcove. There's only a couple in there. You all would not fit in there at all. That's for certain.
Yeah, there's that, and there's like a bunch of Quaggoth up there that I don't really want to tangle with large creatures, but in that room, it's a guard tower, so I'd imagine that there's going to be guards, and there's doors we could bar.
Yeah, but there's a whole section to the north we don't know anything about.
What do you mean?
Duff said
No,
Quaggoth lived up there.
that's just a den.
That's the den.
Okay.
That's the den. You haven't gone in there, so you don't get to see inside there. But just right outside, that's where they feed and live, and you don't want in there.
Okay, my mistake. So yeah, bum rush 4 and then cut that bridge, and then the Quaggoth are cut off.
You don't have anything to. Oh well, you could try. I guess to fight. Yeah,
we might when we get to level 4.
Yeah, you know that the bridges are that stuff that's holding there is spider silk, and it's really, really stout and tough.
Well, it's not going to survive acid splash by Dirtilus.
And you know that my weasel was already heading up to the second floor of the tower.
So, well, I hadn't run that yet when this all went down. So inside tower number 4, you now have there are 2 Dro and Elite Dro in there also, and they show up. Oh my gosh. And one is outside the door here looking back toward y'all now, as y'all were sitting there watching. Another one comes out of the door here and is looking, and you hear someone yelling and asking, and who speaks Undercommon?
I do.
You hear them, yelling, "What the hell's going on out there?" And
is trying to,
and they're talking about
now or never. Yeah.
Varus, you are out. You may not speak in chat either. Okay, you are being slowly drained. Okay. They haven't been eaten yet, but they're not. They haven't done that yet. But he is definitely spider number 1 is figuring out what the hell he's got, because Varus is actually invisible. And actually, hold on.
This is very reminiscent. Very reminiscent of the Wave Echo Caves.
Okay, well, Varus actually shows up now, because that would turn off. Yeah, it's going to start with all that's going on. All of a sudden, you're looking down, and they're all looking, and Varus now is half covered in spider cocooning, and then the other one now comes over and begins to help also, and they're making pretty quick work of him.
We're coming for you,
Not the first time, so okay.
Like I said, now back to Dirtless, and I'm sorry, we're juggling a lot here. Was part of the deal. When was the Weasel going to do this? Were you going to be doing it at the same time, or were you going to do it later on? So
I was just, whenever he had an opening where he wasn't being watched, I wanted him to try to go to the second floor.
roll me
preferably on the.
roll me a perception check, please.
All right.
I probably should have done this with Varus, but you're pretty damn certain that this now is not the time to send your Weasel over there because of all the activity, and the Drow now are paying attention to everything that's going on around. And so, and as this going on, once this Drow comes out, you're pretty quick. They snap out of their doldrums fairly quickly. And when that action happens, also out of tower number 3, Asha comes out and is inquiring. She begins to yell to them that she was in meditative state, preaching, and what the hell is the meaning of all this? And a few more Drow have come out from the main landing to the south, and they.
When do we get our action?
You
said we had 5 seconds.
You give me that action quickly. I'm just letting you know what's inside, and you're going to try to rush the 2 that are on the compound, is what I'm hearing.
Can I get the 2 on the
Yeah,
platform
that's what I'm getting ready.
us?
I'm getting ready to drag them over there. 6.
Banjo comes over to Ront and says, "That drow over there says you're ugly and the door's open."
Oh, nice.
And I'm gonna tell Jim Jar, I bet you a handful of gold you can't cut that bridge down after we're over it.
And me too. I got to be over it too.
When he looks at, I know I could, but I ain't got nothing to cut it with. All right. So while they're looking, before Drow number 4 comes out the door to see what the hell's happening from there, you told Ront what now about his that they called his mother?
Yeah, that they called him and all of his kind ugly and hideous and dirt, and they're right there.
And
all
he
have to
laughs
do is
at
push
you.
them.
Well, he laughs at you. He goes, "They tell us that every day. That's not something I ain't already heard." And he will see.
They also called you a coward, and Gorosh, or whatever the orc god name is, he's a pathetic god next to Lolith.
Groomish or something. Groomish.
No. Was that just the actions you're going to tell him to yell? You mean yell at him? I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna try to instigate him.
Ron's wisdom check was high enough that he looking at you going, he said, "I've heard that all before. This is nothing new." It was.
I'd like a check.
Banjo.
All right.
Banjo was relaying what was going on, and Ron was going. It was, what the hell was he thinking? He should be eaten by spiders.
I'd like a check against Ron.
Go ahead. What were you telling him? But
I'd like to say the time is now. We're breaking out. Let's go.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
Can I give him advantage since I was all?
Not inside the cave. You can't.
Okay, persuasion.
Wait, you can't give advantage?
In this instance, with all that's going on.
Damn it! Hey, at least you let me roll, so I'm happy.
Ron, he's laughing about it, and he goes, "If you want to try, I'll fine. But, I think it's foolish." And he runs out, and, you didn't tell him what to do, so he just basically tries to grapple with one of them.
That's good enough.
Hey, he begins to engage with Drow number 6. And number 7 begins to as it's happening, begins to pull out his, and 4, they pull out their hand crossbows. What are y'all
Okay.
doing?
Well, I raged and shattered my shackles, and I pulled out my two metal bars,
Okay.
and I look at Eldith and I just tell her to watch this, and I wink, and then as I'm running past, I yell topsy turvy on me, boys.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Nice.
as I'm running towards the door, I scream, "Deadbeats!"
Okay.
Love it.
All right. You guys are playing this out. I'm liking what's going on. Okay. So could have been the most oddly planned escape ever, thanks to the sacrifice of the great Furbolg, who is down there, being chomped away. When this is going on, all of a sudden, in the southern quadrant, there is a significant shrill of a trumpet, and it shrieks through the cavern fairly quick, and you see the drow that are somewhere, the ones that are engaged are watching you, and here comes Ruckus as he charges out, and yes, and Jim, and Topsy and Turvy are hanging on to you, and and we'll ride cowboy, and they are, whee, and you're charging them. Some of the other drove across the bridge, and well, you can't really see them. They're looking to the south, and when that happens,
Loth appears.
no, 1 second, I gotta find it.
Dumathoan appears.
There is a shriek, and I could put this on sound, but this is going to be overload. There looks real quick as you're sitting there watching this, you're attacking through the distance out in the cavern area. There is some forms streak through the air. There's a couple of, I don't know how you explain it. They look big, winged horns. The 2 of them fly fairly quickly straight through the cavern, and they are followed by 4 more creatures that look even worse than them. And I will give, well, oh my god, Ruckus is going to hear them yell out, hear some of the Drow yell out that they're demons. Vrox and Casbys are in the area, and they start trying to shoot, and you see them start to mobilize and watch what's happening. The Quaggoths start coming out. There's some that start coming out of the cell, and the watch post, you hear some crossbow bolts being shot. You're hearing you hear some yelling from inside the Drow that's inside number 4. Get to the weapons, and basically they begin to engage and try to lock down the compound to make sure what's happening here, because they just looks like there's they don't want these demons in this fight, whatever's happening in the air, to spill over into the compound and damage any of the structure, because these beasts, let me pull them up real quick. I don't, for whatever reason, they didn't give me character deals. Oh, wonderful. You got to be kidding me. Okay. So the 2 that fly by first in the darkness and all that are these. There's 2 of them. All right, and one seems to have a gash along one of its sides, and its wing is kind of a little damaged. It's being chased by. Okay, can I get the 4 of these things? All right, and they are all large in size, all 6 of them, as they fly around and begin to engage and fight each other. And you hear basically the droning buzz of the wings of the Vrox. Of the Casmes, and then the Vrox are, they're screeching out in this, inhuman shriek, and basically they're swooping and buzzing and around, and they fly in, and they don't fly really kind of over the bridge area, but they're in and out, back and forth as they dart and engage each other, it looks like it's pretty much a nasty little battle here. And you're not sure what kind of creatures they are, but, other than they're large fiends of some sort. So, Ruckus, you're going to charge, and you're going to do what again? Now you're going after number 7?
Yeah, so actually I wasn't going to go after him. I was going to let like Hondo or Banjo try to knock.
You're going where? Tell me. I'm sorry then. So where you want to fly to, or were you rushing to?
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my headset is being really weird, guys.
It's okay.
Okay, so what I wanted to do is I was going to leave Dro 7 for Hondo and Banjo and whoever else can fight.
Yep. That's clear from our plan of attack. I am on Dro 7.
I lost you again, Rock.
Yeah, you're cutting out again.
I'm guessing he's going for 4.
All of that cut out, didn't it?
Yeah. It did. Yeah, it did.
I want to move north and go through Ront Square to Dro 4.
That's what I thought. Yep.
It would look like this. Like I would come out the cage like that.
Yeah, I'm just moving him out of the way a little bit. You're going to get the shot as he is coming out of the door. Was yelling at them when you made your charge, basically. Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I would provoke attack of opportunity from 7, and I want to try to throw Dro 4 off the bridge.
Well, you're going to get shot. Well, actually, you know what I'll do? I'll roll. Let me see. Even he's got his sword. Odd he's got his crossbow. All right, so no, he had his sword out instead. You're lucky there. And he hits you. And all right. And he then is looking at now. He watches you run by, and you've also, don't forget, you've got Topsy and Turvy hanging on to you. All right, and you may pop Dro number 4.
Dro 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the whole time I'm running across this bridge, I'm taking these iron bars and I'm just banging them against each other. and as soon as I get up to him, I'm just gonna whack him with them. And actually, I'm gonna try. You want a grapple check to try to throw him off?
Yep.
Is that strength or is that athletics?
Well, for you can give you either one, but the issue is here, the bridge for you is difficult terrain, and he will have an advantage on his check. All right.
For what?
He has advantage on. He's used to the bridge. You are not. It's part of the deal. They have.
For buddy.
Why are you advanced? Oh, because it's that. Oh, because you're raging. Is that right?
I am raging.
All right. Well, I don't think he'll get that one. Advantage on. All right. Well, he had a nice life. Yay! Well, I can't beat that. I mean, his roll. It was a 20 right up. So, all right. So,
can I make a dex check? I want to try to grab his sword out of his hand before he goes.
But you've got both clubs in your hand.
Okay. All right. I was just gonna drop one and try to grab
you basically
it.
have got him. You basically got him grappled now. All right, and so the rule, so that's your action and turn. So basically, I'm assuming the next you were going to be trying now, and the next is try to flip his ass off the bridge.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So while that's happening, Banjo, what you doing?
Banjo wants to bull rush and just knock Drow 7 just straight off the bridge, or straight off that edge right there into the web.
There's a railing there, just so you know. So I think you would hit. You would need to make if you make the similar roll to what Ruckus did. There's nothing I can say about it. That'd be a one, folks.
I mean, Turby definitely would have assisted him.
Turby, Topsy and Turby are on you, pal. They are riding you, and you can see them slapping his ass and his back. Going, they're like loving this, man. They're like, we found our new partner. They are just laughing. However, Banjo came running, and unfortunately, possibly the weasel got in the way, and Banjo face planted on the ground, and missed totally on his deal. And Dro, number 7, never even knew that he was there because he's watching. He's swatted at Ruckus when he went by, and he's beginning to not like this, so he looks like he's drawing out his hand crossbow. Dirtless.
All right, I'm gonna, try and yell something like muster the troops in here. Like, we've got to make it across this bridge. We need, everybody to help. And I'm gonna also rush and try and grapple or throw Drow 7.
Grapple.
Like, surprise attack.
Says the 2.5-foot gnome.
Thank you. That's what.
Definitely assist Ront and help him grapple.
Where's I didn't even know Ront was out here.
He's behind you.
Ron
right
is getting ready. Him and Dro 6 are getting ready to have a little battle here to figure out what's going on.
That sounds better. I will assist, but is there any I'm trying to get the rest of the group basically to.
Okay, hold on. Who are you assisting? What?
I'm gonna assist Ront because I just found out he's outside.
He's engaged with he's in a battle with the Dro. So how do you assist someone who's already in combat?
I say good job.
And and he's watched Jim Jar's over there laughing and goes, I bet the gnome falls off the bridge, and he bets Shushar said, watch this, I bet you a gold piece the gnome falls off the bridge and falls down there with the spiders,
and I bet you can't make it across.
Yeah, and Shushar takes that bet. Where's your weasel going now with you as you're running out you're running out the door and going to do what again? Sorry.
I'm going to assist Ront. I'm just going to be at his back.
He's going to assist an orc fighting a Dro. All right. Hondo, what the hell are you doing?
Okay, so I'm going to also relay to the expendable that the time is now, we're fighting. And then how many steps or how many moves is it to get out the door there?
About 10 feet max,
okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
And does that allow me to cast?
When you step outside on the landing, you find out that you are able to.
All right, so I could go with, say, spiritual weapon.
Does a cleric require? See, once again, you don't have any type of focus that you have to have.
But so it's voice and somatic, right? So hand movement and voice.
Okay.
Is that correct?
That's how it be played, sir.
All right, so I'm gonna throw down a spiritual weapon.
Okay, you need a spiritual weapon token.
I do.
And where's my... Damn it, wrong one. Oh, boy.
You had one before that looked like
getting
a
it.
hammer.
There it is. Let me unlock.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to move it now.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring it down to healthy Dro number 7. And let's see, where is he at? Got him targeted. I do. Damn it. All right, and then so is anybody grappling with him?
Banjo
No.
was running to and fell.
Okay, so no one's actually engaged him.
That's right.
No.
Banjo's on
All
the
right.
ground here. Sorry, he's right out. He's basically halfway in and out of the cell.
All right, man.
Yeah.
My lady Eldith would definitely get over there and get some.
They're getting ready to make their. Hold on, I'm getting you guys out of the way. Trust me. So,
I'll try and punch him in the mouth if I can. How do
punch
I do
you.
that?
Punch Dro number. You just roll me, and it's an unarmored strike, so it's basically just a strength pusher modifier, right?
But you got the
Didn't you have
club
a bar?
too.
You've got a club, yeah. So
I
you
do.
could basically just if you've got a club, you actually just pull one from.
Yeah, that's what
Can
I
I-
did.
Just pull one
Right.
here. Pull one from the player's handbook. Here, I'm gonna give you one real quick.
You gonna put it in actions?
Well, I got to put it on you first, and then you got to equip it. Now you should have one.
Okay. The magic. All right, let's see if we can get this done here.
Yeah, mass suicide. Yes. Oh,
Damn
man.
it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! All right, there we go.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I like it. This prison break is exciting.
Oh,
We are not called the Deadbeats for nothing.
The Deadbeats, yeah. Alrighty. Okay, so what this is going on, alright, Darendelle, is going to attack. Well, I can't, since this was not being mean, but ill-planned here shortly. I'm trying to figure out what their reactions would be, because they weren't in on it. These two over here. Alright. You see Seraph makes a jump as the two spiders. No, he's not going to do that. He knows better than to go down there because he's not messing with the spiders. Yeah. The store's off, guys. Yes, it is. No, they picked the unfortunately wrong time to have the store off. Possibly. Yeah, but Quaggoth is definitely going to. He's in the attack and raging on. He's going to swing at. He gets 2 claw attacks and he hits Dro number 2 and misses. Oh wow! All everybody's luck is holding, and totally whiffs. And misses. Sareth begins to scream and yell at, he's calling out to anybody and all. He's just making wild accusations and noises and stop the madness in my head. And he's, this is all wrong. Why am I here? And he's just he's going into meltdown mode. Topsy and Turbo, we already know, are riding Ruckus.
But they try to get in some attacks while
that's
they're.
what I was all way ahead of you. They are going to, basically, one bite. They don't have any of those, so basically they just got some bites. So. There's Turvy. Wow. They can't hit shit either.
Wow, that was a bad round for us.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be up to Stool. Come on,
Okay.
Stool.
So yeah, it looks like Topsy got a bite on there, and all right, this guy's gonna feel some love here in a second. All right, there's Turbsy. All right, what else happens here? Yeah, Eldith will run out there. She will run to see. Basically, what happens? She runs and she Banjo. Basically, you're sitting there, and all of a sudden you're beginning to lift yourself up, and all of a sudden she uses you as a bleeping board, and goes ah, and she jumps to attack Dro number 7. She doesn't have any strength modifier, so she's going to try. Oops, really, Duffy? You threw that dice like that? You're an idiot. We'll just do a strength. That's Dro number 7. All right. Oh, she got a hit. I'll give that to her. So what's an unarmored? What's a fist punch? How much damage is that? 4?
It
D4.
does.
1D.
I believe
I
it's
thought it was
20.
1
It's
damage.
20.
Yeah, 20. It's just a single. It's 1d4. I thought I'm gonna give it a d4. A 5, I think.
D4 on.
I gave him.
Oh, nice. Good for her.
She popped him in the mouth. All right. The pain guy. This group's the level 5. They've got a little bit more action ability here. They had already played a few other scenarios, and I was trying to get them over here to this setup to take them through the rest of their leveling and all that. So yeah, they're not entry level, so you wouldn't know that, but they've got a little extra oomph here.
Thanks a lot.
They just came out of Tomoa-chan and had enough of that, and apparently didn't feel like doing puzzles anymore. So
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. This is the most baller prison escape since Escape from Alcatraz. So.
Yeah, straight up the front. What else are you doing?
all right, Jim Jar. I gotta see what he
So
basically
what the heck is so?
he is sitting
He was
there.
betting not to cross or something.
He was
yeah.
betting and all that, and he basically, you see him, he will do a, wow, he's good at some stuff. Let's see here. He, all of a sudden, one moment he's standing, next minute he has weaseled his way through, and he is inching himself down the stairwell. Nobody's paying attention to him. Shushar, that's a good question. What would he do?
Oh yeah, Shushar. There was one guy that really looked like he just needed a long nap. Was that Shushar?
Well, there's several of them. No, that's probably Bupedo. But Shushar's a
Otherwise known
Kuatoa.
as Murder Evil Face.
He, you were in his discussions and getting to know him. He's a pacifist. So Shushar is like, Shushar is over here going, this is wrong.
Stay here.
This is wrong. Stool is kind of hopping, boing, 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 and it unfortunately is not a help because he's a mushroom. What's bad? This is well, okay. No, actually, I tell you that's wrong. He's got his talking and all that. He's got a little fist, but he's a small plant. What the hell do you want him to do?
Heal. I want him to heal people.
Unfortunately, he does not have that ability. All right. So,
Then I want him to jump into the spider pit.
he has never talked to you, but he's going to run out here and he's going to boing 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 boing, and he's trying to find something. He's looking around, searching.
He's found. He's looking for me.
Shh. You're over there going. Well, actually, you're not. You're over there going. You're asleep. We hear verbal snoring coming out from underneath the cocoon as you're being wrapped up. Bupito, he is. Yes, he charges that, and he believes that he is my godlike. I am God of this universe and master of all, and he charges out, and he will also tackle and try to hit. Now, what size is he? He's small. Oh hell! So he will try to punch. Oh well, maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, he's got a 0. He's awesome. So basically, he's just standing on Banjo. I can't get y'all all together here. Eldest on him. Banjo's still on the ground, and Bupito's on top of Banjo as he was trying to leap over to pure chaos. Okay. Shit.
I get to reroll a ranger.
That was the surprise round. Now we roll initiative.
I was like, yeah, I guess so. I've got, yeah, you guys can roll initiative. I'm going to roll everybody else here. Is this chaos, but I also have the demons. Yeah, you basically, I don't know that, but they're subservient form of demons that are flying around here now, and that's got the Drow all upset as they're interacting and fighting each other, and they sometimes slam into the stalactites. You hear Drow shooting off crossbow bolts that are not doing too much, but and what about the Quaggoth? God almighty. That's just
they don't hear anything. They don't know.
Yeah, they're coming out of the cell too. So, all right. Roll up initiative. Let me roll that for. Oh shit! You guys are seriously. Oh boy. Yeah, they don't have. The wizard can't cast anything because he doesn't have any material components. The cleric's got some because he's got
faith. I got
faith. NPC, well, they got what they've got on. They just got out of the cell. So, okay, Banjo.
All right, Banjo, I think, is going to attempt to throw Drow 7 over the railing again.
Okay, you can stand yourself up and push Pepito. He falls backwards. And you've got Eldith who's over there trying to punch him.
Yes.
No! There's a push! And
he throws he throws the Drow as far or as close to Varys as possible to hopefully maybe get the spiders off of him.
well, he'll fall down. Give me a D6 roll. He goes 30 feet.
Nice job, Banjo.
He flies across the way, hits the stalactite, and then slides right down into the web.
All right, and I think that's all I can do right now. It's a little bit
And
crowded.
you were here. Yeah, there's definitely crowded. I'll manage just a little bit better, but you got movement a little. Still some movement if you want.
Is Drow 4 still on in front of Ruckus, or is...
Yeah, they're engaged. Ruckus has got him grappled right now.
All right, because I can't get around Drow 4 into the stalactite.
Not on the bridge. No, that's because the bridge is moving back and forth, and it's difficult terrain for you when you're moving on it in this type of scenario. Okay?
All right, well, that'll be my action then.
Bupito is going to. Well, he's just absolutely pointless here. He's going to try to he will make his way. He wants nothing to do with that. And he's looking around trying to figure out what he wants to do. Drows now. Oh my lord. No, number one is going. They can see the fight going on over there, but they're not. They can't get. Can they actually? Let's just see. Someone. Do you guys decide who? I want a. You can roll me a d20 with advantage of stealth. Who wants to throw it?
Wait, any of us or
Someone chooses. Someone chooses and throw me a stealth roll with advantage. Choose wisely.
I'm unconscious. I cannot
Not
tell
you, Far. Shush.
Ruckus roll.
Ruckus
I'm
through it.
sorry. All I heard was somebody roll me advantage stealth check. My headset died before that.
I want to. Okay, so Ruckus, just roll me. All right. So the Dro is paying attention to the flying and the demons right now, and he actually will they. Yep. All right. So he's actually moving over the bridge, and he goes inside to try. You have noticed, or you may notice. Well, actually, I'm not going to tell you what he's doing until y'all get y'all's turn. All right. Draw number 2. Same thing. What are they doing? Will they see? Will they pay attention? No, he's paying attention to the demons that are flying around. Draw number 3. Same thing. Paying attention moment for the demons. Draw number 4. Oh, now. Okay, so you've got him grappled for a moment, so he's going to try to break this grapple. Hey, Bald, hey, what it is. But this is a jailbreak. I knew it was coming in one form or fashion with this scenario, so luckily that's what I spent today doing, was reading a lot. Not enough, but this was the only way this was going to go down. I figured it was going to go a different way. Okay, oh boy. So yeah, he's going to try to break the strength roll. All right, you've lost your grip on him. So he's broken the grapple and backs in to the room, which you will now see, and standing in there is also this gentleman, who at the moment is facing. There is. Did I give y'all the side view of the map? Let me show you.
Yeah.
There's like a window or something.
It's basically a window, yes, and he has stepped out that, and it's just an opening,
So
and they're shooting.
I don't need to grapple to throw somebody. I can just make a melee attack, and I could have pushed him off.
But it was his turn.
No.
No, he's talking about when he hit him.
When it was yeah,
okay.
because that's what I was trying to do, but I thought I had to gain control of him to throw him off. But
yeah, I was going to make you gain control because you're on the bridge. Had you been on a landing or something like that, then yeah, that would have made more sense to me.
Got it.
Yeah, so, and he was in the doorway. So what was going on there? Actually, I'm going to move the 4 over here because y'all know what that is. But he steps back in this way. He can't do anything else because that was his action. Same thing I do to y'all is the same way. He steps back and he is he had his. He's reaching for his hand crossbow, just so you know. All right. Number 5 is where? Caught in this mess. Okay. All right. Let's see. What does he do? Does he know? Nope. All right. He is also standing on the bridge here, and they are trying to watch this fight that's taking place in the cavern with these demons. Dro number 6 is going to pop Ront and miss. Dro number 7 is he fell, hit the web, and is he cognizant of? Oh, I've got him up right here. he's slightly dazed, but he's beginning to understand that he doesn't like where he is at and is trying to crawl his way slowly over to the edge of the spider web. Drow number 8 is where he is, definitely over here, and they are both shooting and fending off the deal. Damn it. He's gonna jump. He leaps down and is mad and is screaming and begins to actually hits the web first. He's actually, damn it, I forgot. He's got to make a dex check. Oh hell, he's stuck. All right, Ruckus.
Okay, so I'm going to go into the room with Topsy Turvy on my back. I'm gonna skirt the inside of the wall, running along here. But as I'm passing Drow 4, I'm going to hold my arm out straight, and I'm gonna say, "Topsy Turvy, get him!" And I'm gonna like let them run across my arm onto his face. And I'm going to run over to this door. I'm gonna close it and bar it, because I imagine a guard tower has a way to secure the door.
Good question. You have got... It is a guard tower. There's the tables, some chairs. Doesn't say anything, but you would think possible. Well, they... That's a good question. You wonder why I wasn't given that. Let me see. General features.
I mean, even if there's not a bar on the door, if there's tables, I would like drag a chair.
That's fine. You're
it.
shutting. Yeah, you're gonna put some obstacles to make it a little bit harder. They'll have to take a turn at least to knock the door back and move the information to get through it. That's fine. Okay.
Okay, and then once that's done, I'm going to turn towards the Elite Drow 4 and assume the.
Well, you're doing right now. Your action has been moving all the furniture and all that, and tearing into that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I want to just run Drow, the Elite Drow, and kick him out the window.
On your next turn.
Oh, so I can't close. I thought opening and closing the door.
But you're moving the furniture.
Then I won't do that. I'll just close the door. then I won't do that. Yeah, so I'm going for Elite Drow.
All right. So if his back turned to you, you would have advantage on you're going to just basically kick him up and over the ledge. Oh, jeez.
Nice.
Say hello to the demons.
And he falls, and you hear a splash as he lands in the water.
Oh, I thought I got a roll to see how far I kicked him.
Oh, well, the problem with the issue is, okay, yeah, because of Banjo, I'll give it. Okay, that's fine. What'd you roll? You rolled a 5, so you're saying that's 20 feet, so, yeah. All right, then he's going down. Now, hold on, though. All right, yeah, you definitely kick him out. And yours, while Topsy and Turvy are, andale, yay, and they're kicking at you. See him falling, and he waves his hands, and right as he's getting down, you see him stop. And
wait a minute, he can't do that on. It has to be his turn to cast a spell.
Well, okay.
Can't cast a spell on not your turn. There's no reaction levitate.
He's going 100 feet down, so he's going to get his turn. It's 100 feet up in the air. He falls. Okay, he falls his movement phase even double. He's still going to be able to take his turn to turn around and do that.
Okay. Does so when he's falling before he hits the ground, so if he levitates, does his momentum keep carrying him forward?
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we?
Okay.
So,
I'll end my
yeah.
turn there.
Yeah. So, but he will get that opportunity to do that.
What about the demons?
Darendelle. He is attacking. Oh, that's right. Dro 2 actually was getting my bad. Well, he got a freebie. He's going to, holy moly. Oh, that's just sad. Yep. Yeah, they have an innate ability. Is that really because they Dro they can well they've got innate they've got innate spell casting, so that's what that levitate is one of them. I was reading out he was going to cast it anyway, so they're not scared, and he's 100 feet down, so he would have that shot. But Darendelle can't hit for shit. Ront.
What were you responding to me, Duff?
No,
32 feet a second.
Well, Dog was telling me also that
all right.
that Dro it's innate. So
Yeah, I'm shouldn't. It's whatever you want, man. I don't care.
so, but you're gonna kick. Remember, I remember this is all happening in 6 seconds, guys. So this is not like he's gonna fall all the way down when you kick him out. So I'm gonna get him. He's gonna go down some, but he has that saving. Now, Ront is hitting. He's seeing, you know what? He ain't dumb. He's seeing if you son of bitches can push these guys off, you know what? He's going to push these guys off. And he is going to hit. Oh, God. That's Dro number 6. Oh boy. Oh
Nice.
no. Mommy! And here we go. Oh, look at that. Whoosh. He makes it over here to the 1, 2, well, basically 1, 2, 3. He's over here and he's falling down there. Now do Aldro. Okay, so Aldro have that. Okay, no. Actually, only certain Dro have the levitate. Other ones do not. However, yes, they do have this other one that will start showing its evil head here in a little bit. They got caught off guard here. And the demon battle and the flying around that's going on has also got everybody a little up on edge. All right. Eldith, she believes that she's running through and she's going to leap and begin her falling down. She
would definitely stand by her man.
Well, what do you want her to do? She says the best way out is get the F out of here. She's like,
I thought we had a bond, Eldith.
She says, get your ass off this damn thing. The best chance to do is to run. Say, make a break for it. We got nobody in front of us. Get out of here. There's too many of them. We're going to lose this battle if we stay here longer.
I think that she would understand that Hondo's looking for his hammer, and she wants her hammer. And we're going to go get our hammers.
She on Ruckus's hammer.
You have no idea. Where do you want to look? So I'll play it. She stops and says, where do you want to look for this?
Well, it's not in the goddamn water. I'll tell you that much. Get into tower number 4.
Fine. Damn it.
Goddamn
Man,
right, fine.
Stupidity. And she runs in here and she sees Topsy and Turvy on number 4 and she goes, F it. YOLO. And whiffs. Whiffs.
He's not motivated.
All right, Topsy and Turvy now have their. The only thing they can do is, Yeah, yes, that is actually correct, Bald. The party did a Leroy Jenkins, and that is basically what we've got going on here. So I'm spreading them out a little bit so I can drop damage on these guys. Okay, so Topsy is here. He is going to.
No. The party didn't decide shit.
Yeah,
One blue bastard furball.
That's his new name now. Yeah, the furball is now called Leroy. Yeah,
Leroy. That's a Leroy.
All right. Oh, look at that. All right.
Joe decided to follow through. Not my fault.
You ran off on your own. Okay, and he is. What is he got
As
a bite.
is his way.
And all right, he's fine. Is that Turvey's time now? Yeah, Turvey. I love those names. He's gonna bite. All right, and he got a bite. Oh, that's a hit, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Good. All right, and oh, he failed. All right, that's good to know. Okay, who's next in this damn? Oh no, Hondo. There's so damn many things.
Okay, so there is. All right, yeah, there is number 4. And how far away is number 4 from me?
30 feet.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Yeah, the square's there. Oh, here. Sorry. Here, let me lock the tokens aren't locked. Yeah, so yeah, you can. Yeah, you're gonna move him around. Yeah, that's fine.
Spectral hammer's coming in.
Yeah, I got that.
Target number 4. Let's see, where's that at? Oh, it's spiritual weapon. There it is. Damn it! And then how much movement to get across this bridge here
It's
into
there.
that tower?
Here. Tokens are locked.
Okay, so he's only showing 20 feet, so I think I can get across there.
Yeah, you can get across there. Yeah.
All right.
So
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I don't think they ever gave me actually true dimensions for this damn thing, but good enough. So,
I'll move across, and I'll keep encouraging all party members to get across the bridge so that we can cut it.
well, they all won't be able to fit in there, but
There's 2 levels.
There is 2 levels, so you've got 30 feet of movement so far.
Okay, so I'm across. I took my. Now the spiritual weapon is just a bonus action.
That's right. You still got some movement.
All right, and I still have an action though?
Yeah, you do. Yes, sir.
All right, and am I close enough to 4? Yeah, I'm within 5 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll just take a swing at 4.
You got your club too, so.
That's
Whack!
Yeah, that's what I'm swinging at.
Nice.
All right, so bam, a little bit of Doom of Thorns grace up the side of his head.
All right, Dro number 1 is over here, and he is going to. Does he know? All right, he's seeing something. He saw the door close, and he's looking, and he sees the Quaggoth, and he's going to come over here, and he begins to attack Prince Darendelle. What the hell? Why am I grabbing 4? Oh shit. All right, and another hit. Damn, that's a lot of dice. It's scaring the shit out of me. I don't know why. Okay, second one is flying. Yeah, he's flying out, and inertia's carrying him down, but he is stopping himself and beginning to levitate back up. So he's a turn away from coming back up, floating back up the deal. Stool is running here. What does Stool have anything he can do? Not really. Holy moly.
Put him in front of the door and let him bar it.
And he's kind of, he's even though he's small, only weighs a few pounds, but you see him stomping on the door, hitting the door. He's a doorstop now. Weasel.
I want him to look up into the second floor from the inside.
Well, he's going to run in here and he's going to start climbing up the ladder.
Yep.
Well, okay. I'll allow it. He rushes up the stairs. He's going up the rope and he begins to see this. Let me. Whoops. It's whispered it to you.
Okay, I'm gonna smile to myself because I'm pretty sure I see what he sees.
Yep.
Okay. And that's his turn. He's up on the second floor.
Yep, he's up there. I'm gonna move him over here now, just so you know. All right, giant spiders number 1. Oh my lord! So they have Varus wrapped up, but I have never been told actually where their den is at, and so he's going to drag Varus over here, trying to cocoon him to the wall.
Got a minute to go bag.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And this one's coming over here to try to again to attack and get Seraph. And misses him. Wow. All right, Dirt, you're up.
I'm gonna yell, upstairs, upstairs, and I'm gonna... That'll be my movement. I can't move farther than that, but I want to attack. Actually, I can do a...
You can dash.
But I think I want to try and take care of 4. I'm going to do a firebolt on 4.
Is it a ranged attack? Because you're in melee range, so you would be shooting that with disadvantage, my friend.
Even a spell?
The ranged attack is at disadvantage.
Punch him, Dirt. Punch him.
I'll take disadvantage. But I don't want to... Okay, I'll do this.
See, if I look at the... While you're doing that, I'm looking at the down top view. There's not really... I don't have a spider. It's really the whole floor. So I'm just kind of bringing it behind one, maybe. Down behind it somewhere. Dog. Because there's really not a... area where the spiders would live. What happened? Oh, you missed.
I'm gonna encourage... I'm encouraging everybody. I'm like, quick, get across the bridge.
Yeah, because we're cutting that shit.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
And Jimjar rushes to... He yells at... He says, Bupito, I bet I can hit the pool before you do. 10 gold pieces. Move it. And he... And hops off and begins to... Oh, he's got to make a dex check, too.
Wait, wasn't he dared to cut the bridge?
With what? You know, I ain't got nothing. He goes, and he also yells at Spider. He says, "You better have the sharpest sword in the whole wide world to cut that bridge. Spider silk is not that hard. Is very difficult to cut. It is extremely resistant to that. That's why they use it. But he has to make a... Oh, he made his. Nicely done. So he hops off and he is crawling and beginning to 5, 10. He goes down 20 feet. Yeah, so he is moving and making his way to hang off the edge of the spider silk and going to drop into the water. And he goes, "This is the way out! Hurry!"
Oh, for God's sakes. Should we just jump out the goddamn window, guys?
And Shushar is just kind of, this is all wrong. I don't know what. Hush. And he's kind of making his way. Water. Give me water. And, however, when he's doing that, out of the cave in front of him, some quaggoths are starting to emerge. Varus, you are poison unconscious, so unfortunately, there's not much you can do. Even with, because he's talking about his Furbolg and his entities that possess him, they can't do anything for you.
Does he get a chance to roll to wake up and then like maybe turn into a spider and crawl away?
I thought that it said that he was poisoned for, what was it say? He was unconscious for an hour. Let me see what that says. Constitution saving throw, poison on fire. If the fail saves by 5 or more, he is also unconscious while poisoned in this way. The target wakes up. Oh! Okay. The target wakes up if it takes damage or if another creature takes an action to shake it awake. All right, Varus. You now have woken up.
Yay!
You're still poisoned.
Yay!
And you're not invisible anymore. And you find yourself cocooned also.
Well, you said I can turn myself into a spider, right?
If that's what you want to do. I can't believe he's going to get out of this.
Let's go with that. The voices are telling me to go.
So you're going to be a spider inside the cocoon.
Oh yeah, I figure I can get out easier that way.
All right, so now Varus is a spider doing what?
I'm going to start flying my way or biting my way out of it.
Okay. We'll work on that later. All right. Now, guys, it's already 11:30. This is. I'm tempted to hold it right here at the top of the order. I hate doing that to the viewers, but it is holy moly macaroni. What's
One more round.
It's up to you guys if you want to go one more round, but it's going to take 30 minutes.
I'm okay with it.
All right, one more round. I can do it.
Varus?
All right.
Okay. I'll suffer through it.
Banjo! All right. Yay!
Banjo's gonna move across the bridge and use. I can't use sneak attack. I don't have a finesse weapon, but I do have reach. So I'm gonna.
Do you have a club? Because a club is a finesse weapon.
Oh, good point. Yeah. I'll actually.
Does he have one? Did you get? Yeah, did you?
Yeah, he does, because he was gonna give me one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So put the club in your inventory here. Just pull one from the player's handbook. Hey.
All right. All right. Okay. So sneak attack. Bear with me. This is my first rogue.
You're fine with all that's going on. Please. Now, Ruckus has 2 clubs. Hondo has 1, and Banjo has 1. They didn't
do
roll.
I get advantage because of flanking and such?
He's being attacked by Hondo. Hit him last, so he's kind of facing everybody. You're not behind him.
All right.
It shouldn't take much
he is
to
surrounded
finish him
though.
off.
He is surrounded. Well, he's got two Topsy and Turvy crawling all over him, biting him. Dirtless and I think Eldest tried to swing at him and totally whiffed.
Yes.
That's a hit.
Nice hit, Banjo.
And he goes down. Drow number
Nice.
4 collapses on the ground.
Grab that short sword.
Yep.
He has
Does anybody else want the short sword?
He has a short sword on him and a hand crossbow.
Does anybody else want it, or should I take it, or have we?
Right now. You're in the middle of it. You got
grab
it. You got it. Okay.
All right. I'll grab those two then.
All right. So grab a hand crossbow out of the deal, and he'll have a quiver of 20 bolts. So just so you know, Bupito. Oh boy.
That Dro might be more XP than we got in all Tomo-chan.
Oh, Honda
It's
wants
funny because it's probably true.
Oh, they're calling me. They hated that module. Hated it.
There's just no XP. It was fun.
Torpedo
It was
jumps
fun,
up.
but it's so slow.
There was a ton of loot though.
Pepito got Pepito got caught in the web. And the question is, I need to know. Okay, nothing has come out over this area on the web. All right, who are we missing here? Okay, so he's doing his thing. All right. So he swings. Go on, Cat. I'm not in the mood. Hit Darendale.
What kind of armor did the Dro have? I'm sorry.
Probably leather.
Let's see. Chain shirt.
Oh wow, way off. I just want my ball back, and my other stuff.
I
Okay.
also would like my stuff.
Row 3 is
Do you
the
want
door.
the chain, Ruckus?
I don't wear armor. My muscles protect me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The door is shut, and they.
Isn't there a time factor in putting that armor on though?
Yeah, you have an interaction with it. Yeah. All right. He got hit by. He needs to make a dex check. All right, so he's going to pass that, and he is going to begin to. Now he doesn't have. All right, he waves his hand because he's moving to jump off and land into the water, and he does that. He casts up here, and he fires it at the orc.
You talking about Ront? He fires it at Ront.
Dro 6 is he's waving his hands, and all of a sudden he.
I'll leave the chain shirt for you, Hondo, because I think you'll need it at least until
Yeah,
final.
he casts something up there. Yeah, y'all don't see it.
What the hell is that?
Well, you don't know. He lays this out there. Y'all don't know what it is because y'all are inside the room. And then he flips over and he lands and splashes he's splashing into the water. Dro number 7 is, oh shit. Yeah, he is down here too. He makes a save and he is crawling. And we'll make him begin to move that way. And is actually angling under the stalagmite. He's trying to crawl around the side here. And can he? No. He sees Dro Elite. They're yelling at each other. Uncommon. Dro Elite says they're in the window. I can see them in the room and all that. And they're basically hear this discussion. And so they're doing that. They're going to plan. Where's Dro number 8? Oh, they're over here. Do they see? No, he's firing at the demons that are flying around. And Dro number 9 is doing the same thing. He's actually in the deal. Sereth is going to disengage from the spider if he can make his dexterity saving throw. And what is their web? What does it got to be if you land on a web? $12. Okay. So he's good. He disengages and he does the same thing. You see him. He runs and begins to, and he's got, does he have, and he does the same damn thing. Disengage, he can. That's a bonus action. Well, disengage is an action for the, yeah, okay, never mind. So then he runs and does that and is beginning to leap off and going to, ooh, he's going to have to land for the water. Crap. So he'll have to come this way. All right. Because there's no water underneath him, and that would be difficult to land without levitate, which he does not have. Ruckus.
Okay, so if I want to make a perception check to see if I realize this Dro is trying to climb up through this window.
No, he's not climbing. They're just yelling. They're pointing each other. Well, okay, you don't know what he's doing. Girl me one. Yeah. Yeah. Instead of me ruining it for you. You can see him down there. He's basically trying to grab. He's got his crossbow bolt, and he's trying to shoot. He's trying to shoot up into the room. That's what he's going to try to do.
Okay, I want to look over at Banjo and be like, "Hey, mind if I borrow that real quick?" And I want to take it. I want to grab his hand crossbow bolt or cross.
Okay. Yeah, the hand crossbow. It's a hand crossbow. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I want to shoot him with it.
All right. Shoot away.
Sorry, I have to drag it in my.
Yeah, you got to drag one. Yeah, I should have. Yeah.
All right. So, what does using their bolts do?
If you hit them, well, you'll find out.
Okay.
Oh, pa-ting! And it shot right past him and went straight down into the water.
Okay, I'm gonna hand it back to Banjo, and I'm gonna come over here to this door, and stand against it with my full weight.
Next to stool.
I'm gonna
door.
ask Stool politely to move.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, the spiritual weapon is still floating around there, so it's in the room. But Stool steps over and he's just kind of hopping. Do 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 do.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm be like, hey, as I see that hammer floating around, I'm be like, Hondo, there's a guy trying to climb up through this window over here.
Prince Darendale will.
I just wonder if you told Banjo he gave you a shitty broken crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was operator error.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I was leaning out of a window. I'm naked.
Yeah, naked. You should have gotten advantage.
Yeah. I mean, everyone else should get disadvantage from just, like, intimidation.
Yeah.
All right, he hasn't really. Has he even done any damage to two? Hell no, he hasn't even hit the guy yet. God almighty. Crap. It's kind of hard figuring out some of their motivations. I know what stuff they do, but I would have figured this guy would have. He's taking some damage and he's not hitting anything. He'll try to relieve number 2 of his ability. He's going to try to throw him over. He'll do a strength check on him, attack, to see if he can push him over the bridge.
He's the elf slash.
He's in Quagga. He's rage. You know, he's rage, but he's definitely in a bad mood here. But unfortunately, he's on the bridge, so he's at disadvantage on this check.
Can he, if we can direct him, can he step off and try to take out that elite?
Well, no. he would fall down into the web.
Is he not directly in front of an elite?
He's right. This guy. He's right here. He's been hitting, trying to hit Dro number 2, but the Dreet low number 1 has come up behind him now and is also attacking him. And so
can he not engage Dro number 1 and try to throw him off?
he could. Well, he's the Dro number 1's on the edge of the bridge. He's not. He's right here. So we're to grab him and all that.
It looks like they're close, but they're not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And he's getting walloped here, and he's not liking his odds right now. And he's got a spider down below him too, and so his choices here are not good. Trying to let me close all these screens out because I gotta look. There is all right. Will he do it? He goes over the edge. Whoosh, and he's trying to make it he was trying to leap to get to the edge of the web to then drop down in the pool area at the bottom of the waterfall to try to get lost in all the churning and goop and everything that's down in there, because that's where they found the refuse, and he hits the web and is stuck. All right, Ront. What in the hell? Now he's basically all of a sudden he grunts out in order, "Who turned the lights out? Oh damn it!" And he's like, "What the hell is going on?" And does he know? Is he smart enough to know not to hover over the bridge? No, he rolled a 1 on his wisdom check. He goes over the edge and rolled a 12. So he's not stuck. So he sees that he's on the web, and he sees him over the left, and so he rushes to begin to jump off the edge of the spider web 2. Eldith is with you guys. Well, we're in here. Damn it! Now what? What do you want to do?
Check upstairs.
What about upstairs? I see a weasel up there. And fine, I'll go upstairs. And she begins to crawl up there. And all of a sudden in dwarf, she goes, "Holy schmoly, rock and rolly, weapons, jackpot, ha ha!" And she starts throwing down hand crossbow, shields, short swords. She's got hammers, and she goes, "Looks like," and she yells, "There's daggers up here, some chain shirts, caltrops, silk rope, iron spikes." She's just got a ton of stuff, and she's just kind of chunking it off the side for everybody. And the big question is, she finds some of y'all's stuff up here. Dun, dun, dun. The non-magical stuff.
God damn it.
So she can chunk down if you've got, some of your basic weapons, armor for you. Is everybody in the group, except for Varsi? question about whether y'all would grab his stuff. Y'all are. I don't know if you're going to grab his stuff because you guys think he's a freaking cocoon.
I mean, we would grab his stuff just so they didn't have it. And
Right.
Well,
We can
all
sell it
right.
later.
Yeah, so you can re-equip your stuff except for anything that was magical, guys. Unfortunately, the priestess would know anything that's got magic in it. She has got that.
not for long.
And if you any potions, not you can't have any of that.
Is a book
Unfortunately,
of prayers considered magical?
if nah, it's not. I don't think it is. I think it's just your vest. This is for you to read. Thanks, Johnson. Appreciate the cheers. I don't believe so.
Are we grabbing like our backpack, our bedroll?
Yeah, there's stuff. It's just kind of all packed up there. Yeah, I'm giving that back to you, so you can go turn that back on. Except in your weapons, unless it's got a magical block on it, then it's not here, guys.
Are my cigars there?
If you are a cigar smoking fool, you've got your cigars.
I am that.
And she is chunking it down. While that's going on, Topsy and Turvy, you've got stuff up there that belongs to them also. And she throws down what looks to be some war picks that they have and some hand crossbows. And she's throwing down some of the other guys' stuff. And she said, if we can get to them, I'll bring their weapons to them. And she finds her shield and stuff that she wants. She goes now. It's not magical, but her warhammer and all that is been part of her family for a while, and it's engraved and stuff like that. But it's just a nice warhammer. So she's throwing it all down, and she throws that to Topsy Turvy, and they're looking at you. Oh, now you got us in here. Where are we going now? What's the plan? They're coming up.
She's a bit testy considering we
No, this Topsy and Turvy.
returned.
She's throwing her stuff down. Sorry, Topsy and Turvy's turn now. So
I was gonna say, goddamn,
they're looking
calm
around.
your shit.
They actually see the Elite Warrior 2 floating back up, and the question is, as he's coming back up, 50 or lower. All right, so no, the demons, the air battle that's raging on around here, he has been able to bypass it, and he's floating up. And Topsy and Turvy will take shots at him. Oh man, I missed. You're an idiot. Let me show you how to do it.
They'd have to make that with disadvantage anyway.
Hey man, shut up. I'm shooting, not you. No, they both missed.
Why disadvantage?
He's outside of 30 feet.
Yeah, he's floating around, yeah. Not for longer.
Duff, my shield is not technically magical. I get
Then it's
that
there.
back?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's not magical, well, now isn't your focus your relic attached to it?
Well, it is, but it
That's not
in and of
magical. It's not that you don't.
Right.
Yeah, that's not. Then you're fine.
Okay.
I'll give that to you. I don't want you doom and throwing being pissed off at me.
If that's the way it is, I'll
No, you're
accept
fine.
it.
Go.
All right.
All right.
All right. What drow is coming out the window?
Well, no, there's one floating up. The other one is down here. He's just, well, you don't know what he's doing yet.
Well, which ones were Topsy and Turvy shooting?
They're
at?
shooting at the Drow Elite Warrior who's floating back up.
Number 2.
Correct.
All right. Is he within range of my spiritual hammer?
Yes. What's the distance on that?
I think I can move it 30 feet. I will double check.
Is it his turn yet? Been his turn? I'll allow you to hold it when he moves up. He's not yet, but he's coming.
Is he within 60 feet?
Yes, that he is.
Okay, then that I can smack him with.
Then, all right.
All right, so number 2.
Nice.
Whack.
All right, and let's see here. I'll also hit him with the Sacred Flame if I can. And he succeeded.
Yes, he did.
And that's enough for me.
Okay. Draw number 1, or pass your turn when you're. All right. So he sees Darendale go over the side.
Just a question about number 2. Because he got hit, if he loses concentration and loses levitation.
Yeah, he has to concentrate to keep it.
Well, hold on a second. We gotta sneeze.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. At will, casting, components, concentration. Doody-doody-doo. Well, let's see what happens. He is still up.
Fair
He's
enough.
still rising. Number 1 looks down and sees him stuck and doesn't want to lose. So he tries to shoot Darendale. Hits him. Oh boy. And will he make his saving throw? Oh, he makes it. Nicely done. Alright, so he takes the damage, but he is not unconscious or poisoned. Alright. Number 2 rises up more. And now he's in line with he's looking and beginning to move that way, and he sees
He can't move that way. He can't move towards us.
Oh.
It's 20 feet up or down.
What now?
Levitate, you can only move up or down 20 feet. Like you can't move
gotcha.
front or back or anything like that.
He'd go up and gotcha. Gotcha. That's fine.
Yeah.
So then we'll put him in the right square.
And just as a side note, he would have fallen. If he rolled an 11, he would have had to beat a 19 because it's 10 plus the damage you took.
Well, you should. Yeah. Well, then he would fall. No, I don't mind. If I just rolled it straight up. So, all right. Well, then he's going to.
I just wanted him to experience the most OP mechanic in any game.
He will
Gravity.
be so. Well, I'll put him 60 feet up in the air, which for every 10 feet is a D6.
A belated splat.
I'm a little salty because I thought at first he meant Hondo.
Okay, so he went straight down and hit the ground pretty damn hard and took that damage, which puts him at.
Yeah, he took that damage directly in his femurs. What is the DC of a femur?
He took it in the caucus.
Unfortunately, they don't say. I mean, you know, yeah. You would think that there would be some extra damage there, but they're throw, they're deft. So he hit, dropped, and rolled. You know,
Yeah,
and
they're all trained in parkour.
Yeah, exactly. So, and now he's pissed, and yeah, so he's, you know, you see him, you bastards, as he's looking up, shaking his fist. And then he ducks down and moves as quickly. You know, he's going to start moving because the demons are raging right over his head. And Stoop is boing, 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 doesn't, you know, no one's to talk to. And he's, you know, you're all excited and no one's really paying attention to him. And he hops and ba-ding and boing, 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 and he goes hopping off, and he splashes into the water.
What the shit? All
below.
the guys are abandoning us.
Weasel is upstairs.
I want to see if he can search for the crystal focus.
There's nothing magical in this room.
Okay. Oh, it's worth a shot. If he can't find the crystal focus, he's to stay safe.
He doesn't see anywhere up there. You just
All right.
basically see it's just the upper chambers, all these extra arms and armor from the outpost, and then actually, my bad. You know what? Here, I may not have given that all to you, but I'm gonna throw it in the party inventory sheet. It actually has a parcel for it. Oh, it's gonna. Oh, I don't want to do that. Y'all have got all that stuff. Oh man, no, I'm not. I'm not about to mix that all in with all that stuff that is
Already in here?
not. Yeah, it's all there, and we haven't cashed it in yet. Oh, that's funny. So if you want to know what it is, I've got it so that I'm going to put it on a hot bar and bring it up. All right, going through all that. All right, the spider number 1. He is going to come over here, and he will try to bite Darendale and hits him. And save Constitution save on half, so he takes half damage. So, yep, he is not looking good down there. No. All right, number 2. Okay, that was number. Okay, so so number 1 is still trying to. He's got you wrapped up, and he is attaching. For a moment, he's lifting up, and he thought he had this heavy weight from the furbolg in there, and all of a sudden, he basically almost throws the cocoon straight up in the air because he was bracing for what he thought was going to be the weight, and it's not there anymore. And he tries to bite down through the web to hit Varus because he doesn't understand where the target went.
Yes, I'm small.
And he missed you, okay, with a bite. But you basically saw his pinchers and his bite come in there, and right above your little head. Dirtless.
I'm going to try and acid splash the rope on the bridges. The silk.
All right. Shit. I don't. Bridges of spider silk rope. And the webs can be attacked and destroyed. Okay, that's the webs. Vulnerable. Okay, so acid splash.
I'm thinking that's my best bet. I can burn them.
Do both.
Give me a check if you know you can do that or not.
Like an arcana?
I don't know if it's arcana. Man, whatever.
Intelligence.
Investigation?
Investigation. I don't. Just give me a damn roll. Oh, well.
50-50. I think.
Hey, the plan going in though was for him to acid splash those.
They may eat away at some, but they're more vulnerable to fire because they're made out of spider silk. The acid will take time. We'll do it, but fire will do it faster. But they still have ACs and hit points.
All right.
So you can, whatever your roll is for hitting with what is it? What are you going to, well, knowing that now, Dirtless, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to firebolt.
Wait, get the rum that I stashed out of my pack.
And pour it on and make a bigger fire.
Yeah,
I would say put it in the middle and just
Yeah.
target that.
I have
Yeah,
oil too.
Throw the rum and the oil in the middle, and I'll target that with a firebolt.
Fire everything!
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna fire off the bridge to the cell, right?
Correct.
All right, so you can give me a dex. You can give me to throw that. Oh, you're right by the door. Shit, I don't want to make this too difficult. All right, drop it in the center there. You drop it. Okay, you're gonna do it over on that side.
Yep, that sounds good. So nobody can come towards us.
Give me a dex. Give me a dex check with advantage.
And what if he just throws a fireball at it?
A fireball.
Oh, that was a.
I'm just curious
say-
what it does.
That's fine.
same thing.
That's fine. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm just if you'd have rolled a 1 or 2, you were going to throw it off the edge. Okay. So it lands, and now it's coated with stuff.
And I'm gonna try and fireball the coating.
All right. So roll me your attack roll on the tracker.
All right, even though I don't have anybody.
Yeah, you're just gonna do.
Targeted,
Yeah, I know what you need to hit.
Oh!
I'll be damned. You got it.
Oh, good! I thought that was a miss.
So did I. And you want me to roll damage too?
Yes, I do. All right. It took
There you go.
it took a big pop, but it's still holding, but it's on fire. It is not broken in two, but it don't look happy.
I'm
it
gonna
had
hold
feelings.
my ground in case I need to do another shot here.
Yeah, it shut that door though until you need to open it.
I'll have it cracked. Okay, I'll shut it all the way and bolt it.
Yeah, when you looked out the door and all that, basically the drone there was a orb of darkness right there, and then it popped off. The whole area was, a magical spell of darkness was covering that area.
The joke's on us. Our magic items are in the cave of Qualgoth.
Jim Jar is on a dex check.
Sorry, man. I could probably leap that 10 feet if I had to.
Jim Jar leaps and goes, yeah, I bet I got this. And all of a sudden he leaps and his foot catches the web and he's hanging upside down, stuck to the web, but he's hanging off the edge. He got stuck when he went over the side. And Shushar jumps, makes his dex check and hops and plops into the water, and he is swimming and under the water, and he is very, very happy. Varus, what are you doing? The creator of all havoc and chaos.
I just want to get out of this cocoon and go to the water.
Well, you're all right. So you're going to need to give me, well, you're a small spider, so you're going to have to eat your way out of this for a little while because it's pretty thick and heavy. All right.
Doesn't it have holes where the spider bit it?
Yeah, actually it does. Sure.
I can crawl through there.
All right. All right. Now he will see you. Let me actually see if he does see you. Let's play it fair. All right. So you got out of the cocoon, and but being small, you're not gonna get your full movement. Nice try, pal. Nice try.
That's 15. It's half my movement.
You can get along the wall over here. Now you can try to crawl. You can go through the web. There's water below you now, but you're crawling on the side of the wall. You're a spider. What do you want to do?
Yep.
You just
Change
how
into
far
a
can I?
crocodile. Just fall into the water.
Yeah, if I can fall into the water, I'm gonna change into a crocodile while I fall.
yeah. The water's right below you. You're right at the edge, kind of where.
I let myself fall to the water and change into a crocodile as I hit the water.
All right, you hit the water, and where's Devon Knight? Devon Knight, give me your tokens. I'm gonna put you over here for a moment because now you are crocodile under the water, hitting the water. All right, that's your moving and your action. You're falling. Basically, you're left off the wall and you're basically falling right now. And anything below there is all of a sudden seeing a huge crocodile appear out of nowhere and is falling straight down into the water.
Or is it jagged rocks?
Actually,
Hey!
actually, so far, all of them have found that they have been able to leap straight off the edge and straight down into the water. Yep. Anything else you want to do, or pass your? Oh, is that it? Wait, did we get to
Make
the?
sure that I land on soft water, not jagged.
All right, we will. We are going to hold here now in this chaos of a battle. And God, I'm going to have to watch this all over again so I can remember everything that's going on. So
We gotta wait 2 weeks.
I
We gotta
know.
wait 2 weeks.
This is what I imagine a real battle like this would be like. Everyone's just doesn't know what's going on, just running and jumping into spider webs. Like,
Yep,
So-
it is pure
Welcome,
chaos.
by the way.
Yeah. You planned this, didn't you? Uh-huh.
From the beginning.
All right. Well, we're gonna hold here, folks. So everybody's still watching, hanging out for the extra time. It was a little bonus action. We will see everybody Saturday night for Force Majeure. Well, us and the ladies will be back to play and pick up where we left off. I was gonna roll back a little bit on them to give them some opportunity to role play, but they'd rather to continue on and get the adventure going. So we'll see everybody Saturday night, and then we will be off for the whole week. So anybody watching that hadn't heard me say that ad nauseum already this week, be taking the whole week off next week for
Happy birthday, Doc.
Happy
Thank
birthday,
you very
Doc.
much. Yep. So, and then the end of the week, last week in August, will be the contest for all the giveaways. So make sure you're on the Discord server and check it all out. All right, guys, good job. So I'm going to, I know we've killed a few, but I'm going to hold off on this until we get through all this, and I'm going to mark up and watch the video again for make sure I don't miss any XP or stuff. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. So anyway, we're out of here. Stream. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all Saturday night. Take care.
All right, night all.